Melbourne and Manly 10 all. Now, the Dragons, fullback Clint Gutherson, the wingers Matt Feingay and Tyrell Sloan, centres Moses Sully and Valentine Holmes, 5'8" Lycan King Tongia, halfback Cole Flanagan. Lock Ryan Couchman, second rowers are Hamish Stewart and Dylan Egan, front rowers Emre Gula and Loco Junior Pacific at Tonga, the hooker Jacob Little and the bench of Setu 2, Josh Kerr, Jacob Halangahu, Jacob Webster, Daniel Atkinson and Damien Cook to coach Dean Young. Cronulla Sutherland defending the southern end, the St George Leagues Club end of the ground, running right to left as you look at your radio. Fullback Will Kennedy, wingers Sione Katoa and Ronaldo Mulatalo, centres Jesse Raymond and Mawani Hiroti, 5'8" Braden Trindle, halfback Nico Hines. Lock Cam McInnes, second rowers T. Wilson and Britton Nickera as Cronulla kicks off down to the northern end of Jubilee. Front rowers Jesse Colquhoun and Adam Fanua Blake, and the hooker Blake Brayley, a bench of Hohepa Peru, Billy Burns, Oregon Kafusi, Tom Hazelton, Michael Gabriel, the 21-year-old, and Braden Welly, the coach Craig Fitzgibbon, referee Liam Kennedy, touch judges Jake Sutherland and David Munro with Wyatt Raymond in the bunker. First set, and it's with St George Illawarra, 27 metres out from their own goal line on that far side of the field. Little, he sends the ball to the right side, and hitting the ball up is Gula. Stands in the tackle, 29 out from his own line, played short ball right to Gutherson. He takes him on up the middle, and he's put to the ground. Heading up the charge was Fanua Blake, 11 short of halfway. Little goes right, kick downfield. Now coming from Kyle Flanagan, underneath it in the southwest corner, Kennedy, 15 out from his own line, tucks it under the left arm and returns it, and he's put to the ground, 28 out from his own goal line. He'll play the ball now for the Sharkies, does so to Trindle. Short ball goes right to Mulatalo, and Ronaldo is shoved backwards. Good start defensively as Mulatalo is standing upright. 25 out from his own goal line is where he plays it. It comes right and taking the tackle, Kennedy, 15 short of halfway. Played to Brayley, short ball right, Colquhoun. He's nailed about 8 metres short of halfway. Little was one of 3 Dragons defenders, along two with Ryan Couchman. Brayley, he sends the ball left side as the Sharkies have it just short of halfway, and McInnes is tackled against his old team. Comes to the left for the kick on the last from Trindle. We lose side of the ball under the stand as we are. Taken by Gutherson, 8 out from his own line at the northern end. Great chase, Nico Hines. Terrific ball and all tackle. 15 out from the Dragons line. He played the ball quickly, and now the Dragons outside their 20. No score early on, Luke Lewis.
No, well, one strength for the Cronulla Sharks is their back three, and they did a really good job there, the Dragons in defence, to limit the metres, and here they are now, come up a really good set out of their own end.
Oh, great run Pacific at Tonga after a great run from Val Holmes. 5 metres in Cronulla territory. It comes right Flanagan, turns it into Emre Gula, and he's going to be put to the ground about 36 metres out from the Cronulla goal line. No score after 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Now Flanagan on the last. The kick from 38 metres out, and everyone lets it bounce. It's tapped backwards to Kennedy from Mulatalo, and the Sharkies do have it 15 metres out from their own line. Now the ball's going to be played. And the dummy half, Trindle, he sends it to the right side as the Sharkies at the southern end on their own 20-metre line. Now it's Hiroti, centre of the ground. Caught 28 out from his own goal line. In there over the top was Dylan Egan there with the front row of Pacific at Tonga. Cronulla, 15 short of halfway, 20 in from touch western side, no points early on here. Wilton plays it, comes right McInnes away to Fanua Blake. He hits a spin from Fanua Blake, got a great pass, back it went as it goes through hands. Nico Hines, the pass nearly intercepted by the Dragons. In the end, it's dropped by Tyrell Sloan, knocked on St George Illawarra, and a rather fortuitous restart to come for Cronulla Sutherland via a scrum feed. 5 short of halfway, centre field, 3 minutes 15 gone, no score. Let's get early thoughts down on the touchline. Ryan Hoffman.
Yeah, down here on ground level, been really impressed with both sides from the speed that they are playing. Even though it's where both teams are passing the footy around, but it's the line speed. Both Cronulla and St George have really come up ready for this game. It's been really impressive start from both teams on both sides of the football.
Yeah, been some great early contact. Fanua Blake may be the victim of that. He's getting some blood wiped from his brow as we speak. Scrum fed and won by the Sharks, and they go to that right side. Ramian tackled 1 metre in St George Illawarra territory, 20 in from the eastern touchline. Played to Brayley, goes open side left to McInnes. And Cam McInnes is tackled about 9 metres in St George Illawarra territory. 20 in from the eastern touchline. No score, Sharks have the footy. And it comes from Fanua Blake, left to Colquhoun. Jesse's caught, 35 out from the Dragons line. 20 in from touch, western side. Played to Brayley, goes right Fanua Blake. Out the back to Hines. Short ball, Nickera. He's through the first, now tackled. 22 out from the goal line. Very quick play the ball. Little stab kick from Brayley. The ball heading to the in-goal area. It comes off the upright, grounded by Dylan Egan in goal. And we're going to the bucket to check on things. Here's Liam Kennedy.
No try. Just confirm there's no holdback and a possible professional foul.
Okay, so looking at a professional foul potentially against St George Illawarra. 4 minutes and 9 seconds gone, Louis. No score, but that was a good attacking set in the end from the Sharks.
There's a nice attacking set, a really good strong carry from Britt Nickera and a quick play the ball. It just gets the Sharks on the front foot. But there is a little bit of argy-bargy there. I can't see anyone getting held back on that view. It's a nice little kick there from
determine if Locko
Brayley.
has any interference on Cam McInnes.
Yeah, this shot will show it a lot better. We've
got the head-on shot now.
Just reviewing all available angles.
Well, there's nothing in the head-on shot to indicate a
Well, the
Dragon.
thing is, we can't see it because he's behind, but if you can see there, actually he is pushing off. I can't
Both
see who
players
it
are
is.
just jostling shoulder to shoulder. There's no interference for playing on this stage.
No, let go. There you go. It'll just be a line drop out to the Dragons.
It was perilous, though, wasn't it? The kick off the upright. Flanagan dived past it, and then Dylan Egan did really well to recover it and ground the ball in goal to force a line drop out.
While Flanagan goes backwards and the ball is grounded in the in-goal by Dylan Egan. We have a decision.
4 minutes, 9 seconds gone, no score. Touchline we go. Ryan Hoffman.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call. Both teams are just fighting for the ball, and if the players were an indication, they're already set up for the dropout, so they were ready to go.
It's a short no. In the end, Gutherson goes for length, and it goes 48 metres. And now the Sharks on that far side of the field in front of a pretty packed hill. Have it through for Noah Blake, 32 metres out from the Dragons line and 5 in from the eastern touchline. Played to Brayley, comes left this time to Sione Katoa and the live wire winger. He's caught 30 out from the Dragons line, 20 metres in from touch on the eastern side. Brayley dummy half, goes left through hands. McInnes away to Colquhoun. He's been busy early, Jesse Colquhoun. Caught 23 out from the St George Illawarra line. No score. Cronulla Sotherland on the attack, and they get the first set restart of the game as well. They power up the middle to within 15 metres of the goal line. Now Brayley comes left away to a stepping Kennedy. Oh, he nearly got past Egan. Dragged to the ground 2 metres out. Brayley, he goes away right. Trindle to Nico Hines. The Sharks player slipped over, but he gets the ball over the top anyway to Sione Katoa. Now Sione Katoa, I reckon he's thinking of Nico and the potential kicking record because he dummied the put down, realised there wasn't a Dragons play there, so he pinched another, 3 metres closer to the post. Try to Katoa. 5 minutes 20 gone. Cronulla Sutherland in the derby, leading St George Illawarra 4-0. Luke Lewis.
Well, if you're going to give set restarts in this field position, the Sharks will make you pay 1,000 times over. Really good work here by Nico Hines. Looks like he's going to play short. Gets a little bit of a lane to run in. Just sort of skips behind the back of the defence there of the Dragons. And there's just a really nice pass over the top to find Sione Katoa. And you're right, he goes to put it down. Just takes an extra couple of metres in. But that's a great start here for the Sharks.
He was going to play short, but the lead runner slipped over.
Correct.
So it was a great make it up as you go from Nico Hines. Touchline, Hoffy.
Yeah, we spoke in the preview of today. We spoke how important the spine was for the Cronulla Sharks, and that's exactly what we saw in that play. Great run by Kennedy, got the quick play the ball. Then it was Trindle ball playing in the middle, and then Nico Hines getting across the field. As he's been doing the last 4 weeks, he's been tremendous the last 4 weeks for the Sharks. Finds his man on the wing, and he has a chance to keep this streak going.
I reckon it's been ruled that Katoa put it down the first time because Nico's only a couple of metres in from touch, 25 metres out, so it might have been a decoy from Katoa.
That would have been pretty funny. Put it down once, then run under and put it under the 6 to see if you get away with it.
He has not. Nico Hines for his 33rd straight goal. Wouldn't this give him a lift and some confidence if he can whack this over? Here comes Nico. Record on the line. He strikes it. He's missed it. He's missed it by a long way across, and the crowd give it to him basically by cheering the miss. The record still stands for Hazem El Masri, and it ends at 32 straight for Nico Hines in pursuit. 6 minutes 30 gone. Cronulla Sutherland 4, St George Illawarra 0, and that after Newcastle defeated Canberra 30 points to 24. NRL Sunday on ABC Sport. Now around the grounds, New South Wales Cup second half, Sydney Roosters 26 leading Canterbury Bankstown 18, West Magpies 16 leading North Sydney Bears 12, and Melbourne sit the front over Manly 16-10. In the AFL, as I mentioned, Gold Coast 79 beat the Giants 77. Currently in Perth, West Coast kicked the first goal to lead Collingwood 6-0. Queensland Women's Rugby League, South Logan 16 leading Tweed Seagulls 6.
How you getting that voice?
What? Oh, from near us? Yes. It's loud and annoying. It's the Sharkies outside their 20, Brayley. He sends the ball right, McInnes. Typical bumping run from Cam. He's put to the ground, 31 out from his own line, southern end, and he's put to the ground there by Hamish Stewart. Now Hines dummies, goes himself, and he's smashed to the ground, 11 metres short of halfway, 20 in from that far touchline. Brayley, short side right, kick downfield by Trindle on the last. Coming after it is Gutherson with the catch, 20 out from his own goal line for St George Illawarra, and he's pushed back about 26 out from his own line. 4-0 Sharks, 7 minutes 30 gone in the first half, and now the Dragons have the footy. They take it up over their 30-metre line through Feingay. He'll get to his feet, plays the ball to Little, comes right to Tyrell Sloan. So both wingers doing the work of a forward. He scored 6 short of halfway. Little done from dummy half. Nearly got straight through. He got a pass away to Civica Tonga. He puts in a kick over the top. It's being chased by Gutherson, but it's grounded in goal by Cronulla Sutherland's Will Kennedy. The two fullbacks coming face to face. Goal line dropout. Sharks enterprising play by the Dragons. Great to run out of dummy half initially from Jacob Little. It's 4-0 in favour of Cronulla Sutherland. Goal line dropout though for the Sharks.
Yeah, nice work there by Jacob Little. Obviously went with him to start the game because he's so dangerous out of dummy half and really wants to sort of tear the Sharks' middles apart, and that's a great start for him. Beautiful running, really nice pass as well to find Sloan, but he's a short line dropout.
And it's a little stab kick. Gutherson gets there and belts the ball straight back to the Sharks. I don't know what Clint Gutherson was thinking. He got there, he could have caught it off the bounce, but instead he punches it 15 metres back and the Sharkies have it. It's a brain explosion. Cronulla has it 35 out from their own line, leading 4 points to 0. As now they take it up over their 40. Ball's going to be played to Blake Brayley from Katoa. He sends the left Colhoun. He got the pass away, and now on halfway the Sharkies. Defence coming from Little. McInnes plays it. It comes right away to Kennedy, and Kennedy up over the 40, contained by Ryan Couchman. 38 metres out from the Dragons line on the last. Goes left to Trindle. Up she goes. Towering kick to the wing of Tyrell Sloan. Militalo coming through. Break catch. And Sloan was tackled in the air as well by T. Wilton, who gets a couple of pushes from Pacifica Tonga. So it's a penalty, first of the game, going to St George Illawarra. It was a magnificent take by Max Fearnay, actually, and then he was caught whilst in the air from T. Wilton, and a penalty goes to the Dragons down to the touchline. Hoffy, it happened just to your left.
Yeah, it was pretty much right in front of me. It was a tremendous chase by Militalo to put the pressure on Feingay for that kick, and he almost jumped straight into Teague Wilton there. If Teague Wilton would have kept his arms by his side, I reckon it would have been play on, but I think instinct had him for the catch. Look, for the Dragons, they can't go into their shells after the first couple of minutes, and it proved there what they can do with Jacob Little. They just need to keep putting pressure on the Cronulla Sharks.
Gee, that's a good touch finder to within 10 of halfway. Tap will be taken here by Dylan Egan, and he's going to be caught there by Hiroti. 3 short of halfway, 10 in from touch, western side, played to Little. He works the ball open side left as the St George Illawarra Dragons are 6 metres inside Cronulla territory. That's where Sully is tackled. Plays it to Little, set restart. It comes away to Pacifica Tonga. He's going to be caught 38 metres out from the goal line. First set restart of the day for the Dragons, down 4 points to 0. Now comes away Imre Gula, caught by Fanua Blake and 2 others. 30 out from the goal line. McInnes was there. Little goes right to Flanagan. Short ball to Egan. Bounce straight through Trindle. But across comes the chaser Fanua Blake. 12 metres out in the southwest corner. Now they work it away left. Flanagan turns the ball on the inside. Taking the tackle 2 metres out from the goal line. Now the Dragons right in front of the post. They go to the left. Drop ball. coming from St George Illawarra, put down 5 metres out from the line by Hamish Stewart. Led off for the Sharkies, and Hamish Stewart showing all the frustration of that. 11 minutes 15 gone. Cronulla Sutherland 4, St George Illawarra nil, Louis.
Yeah, well, they're going to make the Sharks pay when they get opportunities like that, but they just kept putting their teammates under a bit of pressure. But that's a really nice tackle there from the Sharks, down underneath the ball, forces the error, and that's another opportunity gone begging, really, for the Dragons. They're looking good coming to their own end. They're doing some really nice things, making some half breaks, but they just can't finish off their sets.
Sharks win the scrum, and they have it about 17 out from their own goal line. That's where Mulatalo's tackle. Rain has stopped here at Jubilee, and a great crowd on that hill, just about chockers. We're going to have 12,000, 13,000 people here now for this derby game. So meanwhile, it is Cronulla Sutherland with it on their own 30. Ball is lost by the Sharkies Mulatalo, and it's going to be a knockout against them. And a mistake comes from the Sharkies. I guess with this greasy ball, we're going to see some errors. But St George Illawarra now presented with a wonderful opportunity from the Mulatalo mistake. A scrum feed, 30 out from the Sharks line, 10 metres in from touch on the western side.
It was actually an offload. He offloads it out the back, but it actually goes forward, and it got done as a forward pass there. So you can understand that he got his ball, the ball free to throw the offload. Sometimes you've got to pull it in. You've got to build that pressure, and usually you see the Sharks build the game nicely before they actually start to chance their arm.
So they win the scrum, and it comes to the left. Through hands away now. Sloan tackle 28 metres out from the Sharks goal line. Plays the ball to Jacob Little. Goes left now to Ryan Couchman. Stepping run, put on the fend on Trindle as well, and now he's going to be taken. Vanilla Blake came in 18 metres out from the Sharks line. Dragons down 4-0, but on the attack. It comes right centre field. Lycan King Tongia. He's going to be claimed 8 metres out from the goal line. Plays it now to Jacob Little. Comes away right Flanagan. Turns it on the inside to Dylan Egan. Goes on a stepping run. He's met put down 5 metres out from the line. He'll play the ball to Little. Jacob Little comes back to the left. Through hands away it goes. A little stab kick here from Lycan King Tongia. And flying through to score the try to Dragons. Right in that far corner. Try to St George Illawarra. And if I could see down there, I'll tell you who scored. Valentine Holmes gets the try, and it's now, he'd love that against his old team as well, Louis. 4 all the score. Dragons score the try. Little kick downfield into the in-goal area, and Val Holmes just too quick. 13 minutes 45 gone. Dragons 4, Sharks 4.
It's a beautiful little play, this, if you get it right. Really nice shape to the left-hand side there from the Dragons. And Lycan King Tongi does a great job. He gets into the line, and he threads that ball straight through the feet there of the Cronulla Sharks. And it's a foot race. Valentine Holmes up against, I think it was Trindle at the back that was trying to get it. It wasn't Will Kennedy in this situation, but he gets the ball down 2 hands. He's a great finisher, Val, and he does that very, very well there.
Touchline, Ryan Hoffman.
When they hold onto the ball, the St George Illawarra Dragons, they look really dangerous. They're really testing the Cronulla Sharks through the middle of the paddock. Some great change of direction play, which has put the pressure on, which has forced the Cronulla to compress their line, which has allowed Lycan King Tongi to put a beautiful little kick, and Valentine Holmes has scored plenty of tries like that. It's not an easy put down in this weather. He's done a great job there.
Yeah, full speed, and now he'll try and convert with his fluorescent orange boots. He's got a 25 metres out, about 5 in from the eastern touchline to give the Dragons the lead. Quarter of an hour gone. NRL Sunday on ABC Sport. Val, he strikes it, heading towards the post, likes it, kicks the goal. So St George Illawarra is in front. Dragons 6, Sharks 4 here on NRL Sunday. Round the grounds, New South Wales Cup, second half. Roosters 26, Canterbury Bankstown 24. Second half, North 18, leading West Magpies 16. Second half, Melbourne 16, leading Manly Warringah 14. Queensland Women's Rugby League, South Logan 16, leading Tweed Seagulls 6. And AFL first quarter, Collingwood 13 in front of West Coast 12. So the restart coming. Canberra Stadium today. Newcastle scored a late try to seal the deal over Canberra, 30-24. And really a dream season for Newcastle continues. Remembering no Lucas, no Dylan Brown, and no Bradman Best, and they still find a way to win in Canberra. Now the Dragons 12 metres out from their own goal line. As it comes left to Sully, you can hear the grunt and the groan as he's confronted there by Vanilla Blake. 19 out from his own line. Jacob Little There goes centre field left Fing, wrapped up. 25 out from his own line, 20 in from the western touchline. Little centre field left to Ryan Couchman. He steps off his left foot and caught. 34 out from his own line. Little goes left side, away Pacifica Tonga to Gutherson, and to wrestle to get him to the ground. Colquhoun achieves that finally, too short of halfway. On the last it comes right, Flanagan puts boot to ball, and dropping back is Mulatalo. With the catch, 13 out from his own line, heads to the 20, and he's caught 23 out from his own line. We've had 16 minutes. St George Illawarra 6 leading Cronulla Sotherland 4. Ball played now to Trindle. He sends it right to Hiroti, and he's tackled 32 out from his own line. Has anyone got a muzzle? The ball played. Nico Hines sends it to his right side. It's Sione Katoa. He's caught 10 metres short of halfway for the Sharks. Played to Brayley. Comes left to Jesse Colquhoun. He's wrapped up a metre short of halfway. Right in centre field. Dragons 6, Sharks 4. Cronulla Sutherland with it. Fanua Blake dummies. Goes himself and straightens. And then a ball came out the back to Brayley. Good catch. Under pressure. 5 metres in St George Illawarra territory. Played to Hines on the last. The kick from Trindle. Down to the right wing. And the ball bounces off the back of the Dragons player Fing and over the western touchline. That's going to be a Cronulla Sutherland ball, is it not? 34 out.
Right, you put yourself in the position so it is played at.
Yeah, of course it's played it. He got underneath it to try and catch it and bounced off his body over the touchline. Sharks play the ball. 34 out from the Dragons line. 17 minutes gone, and it's 6-4 to St George Illawarra.
Yeah, I think he explains it well there, Liam Kennedy. You put yourself in that position, you didn't catch it, so it comes off you and goes out. That is play the ball for the Sharkies. So it hits Cole Flanagan right on the shoulder. He did lose the ball. He didn't look up at it, but as it come down, it hit him right on the point and found touch. And it's now the Sharks back on the attack.
It's Nickera, 25 out on play 1. Now he plays it. McInnes goes left for Noah Blake. Got it away. Trindle links up with Hiroti, but Sully is there with Flanagan in defence. 18 metres out from the Dragons line. 10 in from the western touchline. Play to Mulatalo. Goes right. Wilton away to Fanua Blake with a right foot step. Down he goes. 11 metres out from the St George Illawarra line. It's Brayley. He comes left to Trindle. Runs at the line. Offloads to Wilton. It's hard to stop it. He's tackled. 2 metres out. Flanagan involved again. Now Brayley. Long ball goes right to Trindle. Short ball centre field. Colquhoun smashed to the ground. A metre out for the goal line. Played on the last. Brayley sends a long pass away right to Trindle. Then away to Nico Hines. Dummies his way straight through. He's over. Can he get the ball down? And does Gutherson hold him up? He's held up. That is brilliant from Clint Gutherson. Denying Nico Hines a try and the Sharks a try. Fantastic from Clint Gutherson. 18 minutes gone. Dragons 6, Sharks 4.
Well, he did all the hard work, Nico. He got through the line and through the dummy. He's been great running the ball in the last 6 or 7 weeks, and he gets over the line. But that cover tackle there from Clint Gutherson does everything right. Wraps up the ball, turns him over, and wraps him up like an anaconda. It was beautiful.
Dragons have only won twice all year, but this crowd, they've come to cheer them on today. St George the chant. Dragons on their own 30. Centre field left to Gutherson. We'll check in with Hoppy in a moment. They're 11 short of halfway. Ball played now to Little. Comes to the right to Ryan Couchman. Now quickly through hands to Dylan Egan. Egan nearly explodes. Got the ball away to Fing, Steps in field and tackle. 4 metres in Cronulla Sutherland's half. 10 in from touch western side. Played on the last to Little. It comes left. Kick from Kyle Flanagan. Sends it down inside the 20. The Sharks let it bounce over the head of Kennedy. Getting back there and making a mess of it was Guitar, and then he's collared half a metre out from his line. But it's been deemed to have touched a Dragons player on the way through for a knock-on. Changeover, and Cronulla Sutherland has it 18 out from its own line. 19 gone. Dragons 6, Sharks 4 down to Ryan Hoffman. He's on the touchline.
Yeah, the try for the Dragons has really spurred them on. They're playing some really, really attractive footy, but not only that, they're defending their try line really well. There were some great one-on-one tackles, highlighted by that Gutherson holding Nico up over the line. I think Craig Fitzgibbon realises he needs a bit of a momentum shift with Tommy Hazelton and Oregon Kafusi getting ready to come on.
All right, thanks, Hoff. Here's now Teague Wilson at first receiver. Good run. He's caught 7 metres short of halfway. Play 10 in from the western touchline to Brayley. Goes right for Noah Blake. And away to Cam McInnes, who runs it straight into the defence over the top. Stewart down low is Couchman, 3 short of halfway. Brayley, open side left it comes. Back to Adam Fanua-Blake. Tackled 8 metres in Dragons territory. Last tackle, Cronulla Sutherland. Terrible pass from Brayley. Hard followed by Trindle. And then he puts a chip in over the top, but it's recouped by the Dragons. Over 22 metres out from their own goal line. It's very well read by Dylan Egan. He plays it to Flanagan. Goes left Fienge. And good run by Fienge. He'll play it, Louis. 32 out from his own line with the Dragons in front, 6-4.
Now with Hoffy, I feel like the Dragons looking really sharp coming to their own end. They're looking fast and enthusiastic. Here's another really nice carry as we speak. But for me, the Sharks look a little bit lackadaisical at the moment. They're very they just expect it to happen. They don't want to make it happen.
Here's Gutherson in centre field. Taken on halfway. He'll play the ball for St George Illawarra, Pacifica Tonga. He takes it up in his tackle. 10 metres in Cronulla Sutherland territory. On the last, Little goes left. Here's like a King Tonga, kicking it down to the wing of Sione Katoa. Flies through the air. Great catch by Katoa. Sharks have it back. 10 out, 10 in the southeast corner of the ground. With a scoreline 6-4 to the Dragons after 21 minutes here at Jubilee. Now it's the Sharkies back with the ball on their own 20-metre line. As it comes left side, aggressive tackle made here on Katoa, and he's hurt, Sione Katoa, and he's struggling to get to his feet. Time off, says referee Liam Kennedy. Trainer comes out for Sione Katoa, and I can't tell just from body language what part of the body that Katoa is struggling with at the moment. The crowd think he's faking, but his leg got bent.
Yeah, leg went in a bit of an awkward position, and his ankle got a little bit of an awkward position as well, but I don't see anything legal in it.
Illegal.
What did I say? Legal. But I'm just looking over to my left. It's Coiney making all the noise. Mark Coiney.
It can't be.
Yep.
Oh, there he is, the great man. That can't be Coiney. Here's the Sharks, 27 out. He's a legend.
There he goes again.
That's not good. It is. It can't be. Sharks are just outside their 30. Ball played Brayley, and they've lost it from dummy half. They are off here, Cronulla, at the moment. St George Illawarra scrum feet, 32 metres out from the Sharkies line. 21 and a half gone. 6-4 Dragons. Touchline, Ryan Hoffman.
Yeah, as I said earlier, the momentum has certainly shifted. I think Cronulla, after scoring that early try, might have thought it's a bit of here we go again. We're just going to roll over the top of them. But the Dragons, spurred on by a very, very strong home crowd. They're playing with a lot of energy, playing with a lot of enthusiasm. The key for me with energy and enthusiasm is their kick chase, and they've been tremendous on that so far tonight.
I think someone's just telling Coiney what you said. Here's the scrum to be fed. 10 in from the eastern touchline. As it comes back towards centre field, Dragons. 29 out from the Sharks line, and now there's a misstep in the play the ball from St George Illawarra. They can't get the play the ball done, and it's going to be a Sharks feed, and that's Moses Suley with the mistake. I think he was too concerned with a bit of He-Man stuff with the Sharks defenders.
Yeah, we can't watch the replay because they think it's more important to put up a silly sign.
Well, it's one that Hoffy ignored.
Yeah, but he got up too
field prohibited.
He got up too quick there, Moses Sully. And again, like this kind of weather, the way it's slippery down there, that ball is very like a cake of soap. So they've got to be a bit smarter, both teams.
So now the Sharks with a scrum feed. Yeah, go that side. Away to the eastern side of the field, Katoa. He's tackled 12 metres short of halfway. He'll get to his feet, plays the ball, and they go side left again, left to right, as they only about a metre short of halfway. Ball played by Ramey. Comes back towards centre field. Spinning in the tackle, McInnes. Caught 2 metres in Dragons territory. Plays the ball to Brayley. Floats it left to Fanua-Blake. Up the middle goes Adden. He's standing in the tackle. Now on his back. 10 metres in St George Illawarra territory. Dragons in front 6-4 after 23 and a half minutes. Brayley. He sent it left to Colquhoun. He straightens and tackled 32 metres out from the Dragons goal line by Little. Played to Brayley on the last. Goes left. Trindle the kick from 30 metres out. Pressure on Gutherson. Up he goes with the catch. Clint Gutherson. 10 out from his own line. 16 minutes 20 left in the half. And the scoreline 6-4 in favour of St George Illawarra. Jacob Little, dummy half. He sends it left to Fienge. Wrapped up 18 out from his own line. To his feet. Played to Little. Comes to the right to Pacifica Tonga. Caught 29 out from his own line. Quick play the ball on the western side. They work at centre field left to Couchman. He scored 11 short of halfway. Centre field northern end by McInnes. Now Little. Gets it left to Gutherson. He's been busy, Clint Gutherson. In fact, they're playing really good footy. And a ball comes out the back as well for Little. He's put to the ground by Nickera, finished off by Hines, 20 metres away. The ball played, they go short side left, Flanagan. Coming through, Val Holmes. And the catch taken by St George Illawarra. And the try is scored out there by Hamish Stewart. He gets it down, Hamish Stewart from the kick. Have we ended up Tech City, St George Illawarra 10, Cronulla Sotherland 4. The kick caught by Hamish Stewart, and the Dragons extend their lead with a try. And it's 10-4 with a kick to come.
Yeah, well, going back to Clint Gutherson, he's been brilliant, hasn't he? He's come up with a couple of really nice tackles and big plays and some really nice offloads. And this one in particular finds Jacob Little. He gets into the backfield, but it's just a quick play the ball. But then Clint Gutherson again comes from behind, and then Hamish Stewart, the man who just jumps up and above, gets a really nice take on it. Just want to see the put down one more time before I write it in, Andrew, but it was really good work by the Dragons. Bust out the tackle, gets it down, and scores their second try.
Yeah, no problem at all. Touchline Hoppy.
Yeah, they're just out competing on the St George Illawarra Dragons. They really are. I tell you what, it's been a bit of a masterstroke by Dean Young, starting with Jacob Little. He has torched Cronulla a number of times through the middle of the ruck, but one bloke I want to give a rap to is Kyle Flanagan. He put up that kick. He stood there, waited to execute his kick. He was under a lot of pressure by Brighton Nickera and got absolutely hammered, but he stayed in position to make sure he executed, and the St George Illawarra Dragons finished it off. Great start by them.
Yeah, they've been inspired so far, but we've seen this before from them. And it's all right to do it in the first half, in the first 60 minutes, but can they maintain the rage?
There's been a lot of leads given away this weekend.
And this weekend in particular, yes, they have. But Dragons looking good so far, so good. 26 minutes in. They lead 10-4. Now Val Holmes, 5 in from the eastern touchline. Landed his first from this spot. He strikes it, heading towards the post. He likes it. Flags are up. He's kicked the goal. He's 2 out of 2. Now what about this? St George Illawarra 12. Cronulla Sutherland 4, 26 minutes gone. Hope you're enjoying the action on NRL Sunday here on ABC Sport with Luke Lewis, Ryan Hoffman, I'm Andrew Moore. Round the grounds, full time in the New South Wales Cup. And it is a win in the end for the Roosters over Canterbury Bankstown by 32 points to 24. We've got North Sydney 30, leading West Magpies 16. Melbourne 22, leading Manly Warringah 18. And Newcastle at Canberra Stadium leading the Raiders 6 points to 0. In the AFL, we've got Collingwood 33, leading the West Coast Eagles 18 in the first quarter. And Queensland Women's Rugby League, South Logan 30, leading the Tweed Seagulls 12. So from the kick-off, the Dragons with his 12-4 advantage have it 18 out from their own goal line. Jacob Little, he sends the ball centre field left. 25 out from their own line. Oh, there's the old magnificent get him onside, Brett. Emre Goulded plays it. He comes left edge now to Stewart. He popped a pass out the back as well. And now the Dragons going straight down the eastern touchline. Holmes, he's over the 40, ankle tap. Dragged to the ground, 27 metres out. To his feet, plays it. It comes open side right. Through hands, a wayward pass from Lycan King Tongia. It's picked up by Sully, fends away from Hirotti, and now he's going to be caught about 17, 16, 15 metres out from the goal line. St George the chant here at Jubilee. Long ball from dummy half, goes left to Couchman, steps back to the right side, Couchman. He's felled 10 out from the goal line. Last tackle, Dragons. What a set this has been again. Little sends it away left, through hands it goes. Gutherson got the pass away as it comes on that far side of the field to within a metre or two of the goal line, and that's where Stewart's tackled. Desperate cover defence from the Sharks. Changeover. Cronulla gets a 2 out from their own line. 12 minutes 40 left in the half. St George Illawarra 12, Cronulla Sutherland 4.
Oh, I'm big on body language, Andrew, and the body language at the moment for the Sharks, it's absolutely horrible. And the body language from the Dragons is amazing. And I'll tell you what, it's not a bad place to start. 1 metre in, 1 metre out. Really good work here from the Dragons.
Hazelton plays the ball for the Sharks. They need an injection of something, Cronulla. They're inside their own 20. Comes away right to Hirotti at first receiver. And he's going to be taken about 27 out from his own line. They're struggling to get anywhere here, Cronulla Sutherland. Now they're 33 out from their own goal line. Ball played by Colhoun. Comes right, Trindle a clearing kick. And the northeast corner again. Gutherson the catch. 20 out from his own line. He brings it back to the 30. and then straightens and wrapped up 33 out from his own line with that 28 minutes. And the Dragons lead the Sharks 12 points to 4. Now Spinga up the middle he goes. Replacement coming on now for the Dragons in the 17 jersey. And that's the youngster, Jacob Webster. So let's see how he goes. Dragons now on halfway. 20 in from the western touchline. Played a little. Here's Webster. The crowd love it. And he's going to be caught by Hazelton. 9 metres in Cronulla Sutherland territory. It's played now little. Goes left to Gutherson. Then away to King Tongia. And he's wrapped up ball and all. And shoved to the deck about 35 metres out from the line, courtesy of Ramian. On the last, Flanagan. Kicks it down to that Sowies corner again. Kennedy, good catch on the run. And he's tackled about 15 out from his own line. 29 gone. Dragons 12, Sharks 4. And Ryan Hoffman, as you've been saying, it's becoming more and more evident that the Dragons, every set of 6, both sides of the footy, are right on top.
Yeah, there's a notable difference between the ruck speed, as we see an offload from Mulatalo. But the ruck speed from the Dragons is a lot quicker. They're getting a lot more one-on-one tackles, which has allowed Jacob Little, which has allowed Kai Flanagan to play on the front foot, which is getting this field position.
Here's Brayden Trindle, short ball left to Wilton, knocked to the ground on halfway. Crowd thought it was forward, thought it was okay. About 10 in from touch western side. Played to Brayley. Goes right, Trindle. Then up towards centre field, Burns. He scored 5 metres in Dragons territory. Last play for the Sharks. Kick off the boot of Trindle from 42 metres out. Down to Gutherson, barely had the move. Easy catch. 9 out from his own goal line. Good chase though by Cronulla. Hazelton involved. And the Dragons get it back. 18 out from their own line. We've had almost half an hour of play. And it's all St George Illawarra leading 12 points to 4. As Jacob Halangahu comes onto the field now for St George Illawarra. They go right edge. And the tackle comes here on Sully. 15 short of halfway. 10 in from the western touchline. Played the little. Goes left. And it's Halangahu running off Egan. And he's going to be held up here by Burns and Brayley. And Kafusi, 8 short of halfway. Little goes left. King Tonga away. Gutherson nailed. Great defence by Hines. 3 short of halfway. Last tackle, St George Illawarra. And the kick downfield from Flanagan. Dropping back Mulatalo rather casually. He catches it. 5 out from his own line over the 10. Heads towards the 20. Takes on the chase of Egan and Halangahu. 22 out from his own line. 9 minutes 30 left in the half. Luke Lewis 12-4. Dragons lead Sharks.
Yeah, back in the arm wrestle at the moment. Both sides just getting through sets, waiting for someone to make a mistake. But it looks more likely than it's going to be the Sharks and the Dragons. The Dragons are very honed in at the moment.
So now Cronulla Sutherland on their far side have the ball, about 35 out from their own line and 12 in from the eastern touchline. Ramian plays it, comes left to Hazelton. And he's caught 3 short of halfway, the goal figure. Blake Brayley at dummy half. He goes left to Billy Burns. The dummy goes himself, and it's a penalty going to Cronulla Sutherland for a high tackle. About 1 metre in St George Illawarra territory, and it's Couchman, the player, penalised. Down to you, Ryan Hoffman on the touchline.
Yeah, change here for the Dragons. Max Fangai has gone off. There seems to be a back issue, and he's been replaced by Setu 2, which has had a tremendous season so far for the Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see anyone injured. The Setu 2, an ideal replacement. Tap taken by Hiroti. 31 out from the Dragons line. Tackled 26 metres away. Egan with the tackle. Played to Brayley. Goes centre field right. Kafusi. Crushed to the ground in centre field. 18 metres away from the goal line. Brayley goes right to Nico Hines. 12-4 Dragons lead. Inside pass to Nickera. He scored 14 metres away from the line. Plays it to Brayley. Comes left to Burns. Burns a lovely short ball. Kafusi threatening an offload with a lovely tackle head on from Dylan Egan. 5 out centre field. Brayley goes right to Burns. He gets very close to the goal line. Hand to left upright. Does he get it down? I think he has. He has. Try to Billy Burns and then kisses his Cronulla jersey in the Indigenous logo. And the Sharks hit back. St George Illawarra 12. Cronulla Sutherland 8. 7 minutes 40 to play in the first half. He's been really good this year, Billy Burns. And he crashes over to score the try.
He's been brilliant this year for the Cronulla Sharks. He's filled in a few different roles. He's played in the back row on that right edge, and he's done a really good job over there as well. But this is quite disappointing for the Dragons. They've been really, really good with the ball. They've been defending well, and they're just something so easy, so soft. Just sneaks out the ball carrying arm there, Billy Burns, and just slides it over the try line. And that's really nice work. Great, I suppose, field awareness there from Billy Burns.
And this can be the difference, Louis, between the team that's won 9 out of 10 and a team that's won 2 games all year. The Sharks know they can come back. There's a composure about them, even though they haven't been playing very well. And for the Dragons, the doubt will come in straight away.
Yep, absolutely.
So we'll cross the hobby after the kick. Nico's right in front or just to the left of the post. 11 metres out. His record of 32 straight snapped after his first shot from the eastern touchline missed across the face. 3 behind the all-time record held by Hazem El Masri. Now to start a new streak. Here comes Nico to get the Sharks to within 2 with the right scoop. And he pilots it right between the sticks. So he is 1 out of 2. St George Illawarra 12, Cronulla Sotherland 10. 6 minutes 30 left in the half. Now down to Ryan Hoffman downstairs.
Yeah, that was just an example of determination from Billy Burns. He just wanted to score more than the Dragons wanted to tackle him. Great run there right across the line. The Dragons can't go into their shell. Yep, they've given up a bit of a lead, but they're still in front. They've been playing good football by just running hard and those change of directions through the ruck. They need to continue with that.
Round the grounds we go. New South Wales Cup second half. North have kicked. The Bears 36, leading the West Magpies 16. Melbourne 26, Manly Warringah 18. Newcastle 6, Canberra 4. AFL first quarter. And we've got Collingwood 39, West Coast 37. AFLW first goal to Carlton to lead St Kilda 6-0. And Queensland Women's Rugby League, South Logan 42, Tweed Seagulls 12. Remember tonight too, you've got NRLW action. We'll be heading to Central Coast Stadium. Declan Byrne, Jada Taylor and Dean Hallertau, and they'll bring you the Roosters game against Parramatta. We'll check in with Declan and the team at halftime here. Here's a good strong run by Hazelton over the 30. Finally put down 33 out from his own goal line. Played to Brayley, goes right to Mawani Hiroti, and already there's an extra edge to the Sharks in scoring. Hiroti put down 5 short of halfway, 20 in from the western touchline. Now it comes right again, Kafusi, and Halangahu first to greet him. 5 metres in St George Illawarra's half. Played on the last, it comes left. Trindle the kick from 42 metres out. Mulatalo and Hopper shoot. Guppleson up he goes. Great catch. I thought he was interfered with by Mulatalo and still caught it brilliantly. 12 out from his own line. 5 minutes 30 left in the half. 12-10 St George Illawarra leads. Cronulla Sutherland is now Setu 2 is put to the ground. 16 out from his own line.
Yeah, I don't think there was any much in that there. There's a nice chase from Ronaldo Mulatalo. He tries to tap the ball back. It was a good take there by...
Great catch.
And here's another penalty now to the Dragons coming out of their own end. So they're just doing those little things a little bit better than the Sharks at the moment. They're running the tad harder. They're fighting a little bit harder on the floor.
I thought that last set was better though from the Sharks.
It was, definitely. Absolutely.
Just had a bit more intent about it, but a penalty given away. For a high tackle to the Dragons, 18 out from their own line, inside 5 minutes to go in the half and 12-10 St George Illawarra lead. Now the touch finder about 10 metres short of halfway. Eastern side of the field in front of the hill. Tap taken by Val Holmes, who's done some really good things. And he steps into Kafusi and Nickera. Shoved back and got the pass away and the tackle to Egan. And Egan finally floored by Ramian, 2 short of halfway. Played to Jacob Little. They go short side left. Hamish Stewart goes without it again. Scooped up now by Cronulla Sutherland, 10 metres short of halfway. Ball's played by Will Kennedy to Brayley. He goes left, and the tackle made just short of halfway on the Sharkies. Teague Wilton, courtesy of Kyle Flanagan. Another against his old team. Now to the left, Mulatalo, wrapped up 7 metres in Dragons territory. Tell you what, some of the fans in front of us are keeping Dennis a man of sound on his toes. Here's Hazelton up the middle. He scored 35 out from the Dragons goal line by the defence of Edwards. Now it comes to the right. Hines away to Ramian. Great defence by Val. No, it wasn't. He let him go. Ramian runs across field, then offloads to Trindle. Turns it back on the inside to Hazelton. He only knows one way, and that's up the middle. Caught 37 away from the goal line. He'll play the ball now. Does so, and it comes to the right to Billy Burns. Couchman's down low. 2 defenders over the top, including Jacob Little. Out 30, make it 27 out from the line. Last Trindle on the short side left. Puts up the kick. More pressure on Gutherson. Gutherson loses the ball this time. Scooped up though by St George Illawarra's Gutherson. He gets the pass away left with Val Holmes. He scored 10 out from his own line. 3 minutes 13 left in the half. Dragons 12, Sharks 10. Touchline, Ryan Hoffman.
Yeah, got an update on Max Fangai. Apparently he's gone up for a HIA, a Cat 2 HIA, and is struggling with a bit of a shoulder issue. So as long as he passes the test, hopefully for the Dragons, he'll be back.
Good job, Ryan. Don't call me Josh Hoffman. Jacob Little, dummy half. He sends the ball centre field left, and they have it 13 metres short of halfway. Plays the ball at the northern end as Tyrell Sloan. Goes left to Gutherson again, who's having an influence in this game, all right. He's caught just short of halfway, right in centre field. Little sends it right. Flanagan has time to set and punts the ball downfield to the southwest corner, where Kennedy takes the catch on his own 10-metre line, heads to the 20, and he's put to the ground 20 metres out from his own line. Earlier at Canberra Stadium, a win for Newcastle, 30-24 over the Green Machine. Trindle dummy half. Goes right to Katoa. Smack bang into the teeth of the defence. 27 out from the Sharks line. Trindle. He works it away right edge. Tackle made just outside the 30. Finding to get to his feet, Ramian. Plays it to Brayley. Comes middle of the park again. Spinning out of one, Mulatalo. Now down 3 short of halfway. 20 in from the western touchline. He plays the ball to Brayley. Short ball away, Hazelton. Runs into the defence. And he's put to the ground by Edwards. 5 metres in Dragons territory. 12-10 Saints lead. 1 minute 50 to go. Trindle tries to spiral the life out of it. And Setu too. What a good catch. 14 out from his own line. 20 in from touch western side. 12-10. The Dragons maintain the lead as now Gutherson's collared Louis on his own 20.
I think the back three are doing a really good job just diffusing those bombs. I tell you what, it's hitting them pretty well there, Tricky, as well.
Yes.
But there's not as much enthusiasm in the Sharks' defence as we have seen over the last few weeks. So they've got to pick that part up. But it's just an end-to-end stuff at the moment. Really good arm wrestle going on.
So now the Dragons 12 short of halfway. Sloan plays the ball to Jacob Little. He darts to the right and straightens. Scored by Hazelton on halfway and Kafusi. Right in centre field, but last tackle St George Illawarra leading 12-10. Kicked downfield by Flanagan. Will Kennedy with the easy catch. 15 out from his own goal line. Heads to the 20 and beyond. Burrows his way into the defence. And he's claimed about 24 out from his own line inside the final minute of the first half. Hines sends it right, Katoa. He's taken 28 out from his own line eastern side. Plays the ball to Hines. Goes left again now. And the tackle on Britton Nickera, 10 metres short of halfway, 20 in from touch on the hillside of Jubilee. Now Brayley runs to his left, got the ball away, and it goes from Trindle to Hines. Poor pass, but really good hands by Mulatalo around his hip to hold on to it. Tackle 5 metres in St George Illawarra territory, 10 in from the western touchline. Plays it, it goes right now to Trindle, turns it into Kafusi, popped it out the back to Brayley, almost a hospital pass. Brayley recklessly threw it away, knock on, and that's an indication that they are off their game here, the Sharkies. It'll be a St George Illawarra scrum feed given time. 10 seconds left in the half. 12-10 in favour of St George Illawarra. Little things like that, Louis.
Yeah, absolutely. But I tell you what, I reckon the Phantom Siren just got the boys there. It was brilliant. They've done it about 30 seconds out. I think everyone was already looking. They already thought they heard this noise. But
this is the home of the Phantom Siren right here.
It was brilliant. So, look, a really good first 40 minutes there from the Dragons. I thought they played well. Attention to detail. They're going into half-time, and I think they're the better team so far at the moment.
So 12-10 it is in favour of St George Illawarra over Cronulla Sutherland. For the Dragons, tries to Val Holmes in the 14th minute. Hamish Stewart in the 25th. Holmes 2 from 2, both from out wide, and 1 restart. For the Sharks, to try to Sione Katoa in the 6th minute. Billy Burns in the 33rd. Nico Hines 1 from 2 and 1 restart. Penalties are 2-1 in favour of St George Illawarra. Half-time, St George Illawarra 12, Cronulla Sutherland 10. Thoughts on the first 40, Ryan Hoffman?
Yeah, I thought St George definitely deserved to be in the position they're in. They just out-competed, I think, Cronulla in that first 40 minutes. Cronulla definitely have got more points in them, but it's whether or not they're going to execute the way they should. They've been a bit off their game. They need to get back in their kick chase game that was working at the start. For the Dragons, it's much the same. Keep testing their arm, keep checking Cronulla through the middle of the ruck, and they could spring an upset here.
All right, Hoffy, have a breather around the grounds, and in the New South Wales Cup, full time and a win for North Sydney. The Bears have won by 48-16 over Western Suburbs, coming from behind to win by that margin. Melbourne has beaten Manly Warringah 26-18. Canberra leads Newcastle 14-6. AFL, Collingwood 39, leading West Coast Eagles 37. AFLW, Carlton 13, leading St Kilda 1. And Queensland Women's Rugby League, South Logan 42, Tweed Seagulls 12. You're with Luke Lewis, Ryan Hoffman. I'm Andrew Moore. NRL Sunday on ABC Sport. And after Newcastle's 30-24 win over Canberra, St George Illawarra leads Cronulla Sutherland 12-10 as we take you now to the ABC Newsroom.
I'm Eliza Getzi. Green Senator Sarah Hanson-Young has told the government to put its cards on the table and reveal what concessions it's willing to make on its proposed gambling laws. Labor is struggling to secure support for the bill, which proposes a partial ban on gambling ads. The Greens want the government to toughen the bill to include a total ban on gambling inducements, including bonus bets and special deals. Senator Hanson-Young has told insiders she's in talks with the Communications Minister.
If the government's now willing to move on some things, well, good. But the devil's going to be in the detail. And what I say to the Prime Minister and to the government is put your cards on the table. Let's see how far you're prepared to go.
WA's Electrical Trades Union is expecting up to 170 workers to join the ongoing work stoppage at BHP's Port Hedland site this weekend. The Australian Workers Union downed tools yesterday and were joined today by the ETU and the Australian Manufacturing Workers Union. The ETU's WA lead, Brant Softly, says members were told to stay home and that there was no need for a picket line to get the message across.
We wanted to just more or less get to the point where, we shouldn't have to wave out the front and make a spectacle. We want our actions to speak louder than words.
Overseas, Typhoon Dolphin is forecast to make landfall in China later today with torrential rain and powerful winds as authorities warn of flooding and landslides across a broad swathe of eastern China. The storm's already swept through Japan's southern Okinawa prefecture, injuring 6 people and cutting power to more than 50,000 buildings. Ahead of its landfall in China, authorities have moved offshore workers to safety, ordered ships back to port and increased checks at reservoirs, landslide-prone areas, construction sites and tourist sites. China's National Meteorological Centre says Typhoon Dolphin is expected to hit the coast with winds of up to 160 kilometres an hour before weakening and moving inland. A police officer has been killed and 2 security guards injured in 2 bombings on the first day in office of Colombia's newly inaugurated right-wing president, Abelardo de la Espriella. More from the BBC's David Bamford.
The Colombian military blamed dissident left-wing FARC rebels for a blast that destroyed a highway toll booth near Cali, the city where the inauguration ceremony took place on Friday. 2 security guards were injured. In the second attack in the northern district of Cesar, a police officer was killed when a drone struck a police station. The new president said there would be no refuge for the bombers. He's rejected the dialogue with armed groups promoted by his left-wing predecessor, Gustavo Petro.
And German officials have revealed 2 drones were spotted in recent days flying over a sensitive military installation west of the city of Bonn. The complex houses components for the US-made Patriot air defence system. It comes a few days after an explosive-laden drone was detected near a Ukrainian cargo plane in the German city of Leipzig. And back home, Victoria's state opposition leader says the recent death of a grocery shop owner in Melbourne's West highlights the need for stronger laws to clamp down on violent youth crime. Jess Wilson attended a vigil today for 60-year-old Van Viet Trong, who died after allegedly being attacked by a group of young people in the suburb of Sunshine last weekend. 3 children aged 12 to 14 have each been charged with several affray offences and bailed, while a 15-year-old boy charged with manslaughter remains behind bars. Ms Wilson says locals have told her they no longer feel safe.
To lose such a respected person, someone who has been a shop owner here for decades, because we have weak laws here in Victoria and we have a crime crisis. Unfortunately, people just have had enough and they want stronger laws. They want someone who is actually going to end the crime crisis in Victoria, and that's why I'm here.
Residents in the central Queensland town of Clermont are being asked to limit water use after a failure at the town's water treatment plant. The Isaac Regional Council says crews are working to fix the problem, but is asking the community to avoid watering lawns, washing cars, and only shower, bathe or flush toilets when strictly necessary. Extra water is being trucked into the town. And in tennis, the women's world number 1, Aryna Sabalenka, has suffered a setback in her US Open build-up after she was beaten by Russia's Ekaterina Alexandrova in the 4th round of the Canadian Open in Toronto. The 16th-seeded Alexandrova fought a hard battle lasting nearly 2.5 hours to secure her quarter-final berth. Sabalenka, a 4-time Grand Slam champion and reigning US Open winner, recovered from a set down to force a decider but was unable to counter her opponent's aggressive shot-making in the final set, with Alexandrova prevailing 7-6, 4-6, 6-4.
Get ready for a year of Test cricket like you've never heard before.
Stark tries again. He runs in straight through it.
Grandstand cricket.
12 months, 20 Test matches, New Zealand at home over summer, the 3 most iconic overseas tours, the 150th anniversary Test under lights at the MCG.
Haven't driven before. Beautiful stroke.
And it all begins on Thursday with Australia versus Bangladesh.
Hits it clean over the long-on boundary for 6.
Listen to every ball live from the top end on ABC Listen. Just look for the cricket button.
The 2026 NRL Premiership. It's Indigenous round.
2 metres out, Brayley. He goes away right, Trindle and Nico Hines. The Sharks player slipped over, but he gets the ball over the top anyway to Sione Katoa. Now, Sione Katoa, I reckon he's thinking of Nico and the potential kicking record because he dummied the put down, realised there wasn't a Dragons play there, so he pinched another, 3 metres closer to the post. Try to Katoa. Nico Hines for his 33rd straight goal. Wouldn't this give him a lift and some confidence if he can whack this over? Here comes Nico. Record on the line. He strikes it. He's missed it. He's missed it by a long way across, and the crowd give it to him basically by cheering the miss. The record still stands for Hazem El Masri, 20 metres away. The ball played, they go short side left, Flanagan coming through Val Holmes, and the catch taken by St George Illawarra, and the try is scored out there by Hamish Stewart. He gets it down, Hamish Stewart from the kick. Have we ended up Tet City, St George Illawarra 10, Cronulla Sutherland 4. 5 out centre field, Brayley goes right to Burns, he gets very close to the goal line, hand the left upright, does he get it down? I think he has. Try to Billy Burns and then kisses his Cronulla jersey in the Indigenous logo, and the Sharks hit back.
ABC Sport. Indigenous round, recognising the contributions of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples to the game of rugby league.
Yeah, tight one here at Jubilee. It is 12-10 in favour of St George Illawarra over Cronulla Sutherland. The footy doesn't stop here, though. Afterwards, we'll be heading to Central Coast Stadium in Gosford, where the Sydney Roosters, unbeaten, play winless Parramatta in the NRLW. And at Central Coast Stadium, calling the action, Declan Byrne, Jada Taylor and Dean Hallertau. Let's check in and set the scene. G'day, Deck.
Thanks, Maury. Yeah, 2 teams with completely opposite records. So the Sydney Roosters now the only undefeated team after the Broncos lost earlier today. The Parramatta Eels winless. It goes further than that as well. They've almost got mirror image stats. So listen to this. The Roosters, they average 31 points scored. Eels concede on average 29. Roosters only concede 11. The Eels score 12 on average. So the Eels are up against it tonight against an imposing Roosters side to complete round 6. In terms of the weather, it's just stopped raining at the moment, but it's been spitting on and off for the last couple of hours. Unfortunately for Dean Hallertau, who will be on the sideline, it is only supposed to get heavier as the night goes on. So I think we'll have a slippery one. No late changes as well, which means Taryn Aiken comes back in for the Roosters after that shoulder concern the last couple of weeks. The Eels lose a couple and gain a couple of really good ins. So they sort of come out even. Rachel Pearson and Martha Mataele drop out, both with head knocks. Rory Owen and Cassie Tohihiku come in. The referee will be Peter Goff, and Todd Smith is in the bunker. I mentioned Dean Hallertau, but alongside me first up, Jada Taylor from the NRLW Sharks. Jada, how you feeling?
Look, been better, to be honest. Rugby league can do that to you when you're not winning. It feels like the end of the world. So hopefully do my homework tonight and watch these 2 teams to beat them later in the year.
So a loss for your Sharks yesterday. Is this a good thing? Take your mind off it. Watch another 2 teams who you will play over the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks as we get a knock on the window here. Is it a good thing to come here and just do some study?
Yeah, for sure. I think the only way to get your mind off a loss is to look forward. And I promise I'll be doing my homework tonight, go back on Tuesday and give an update on what I think's happening here tonight.
The other man alongside us is Dean Hallertau. Dean, the Roosters, as I said, the only undefeated team at the moment. They can go a game clear at the top of the ladder. This is a tough task tonight for the Eels.
No doubt. Sorry, Deck. They would have been watching the game or had an eye on the game today just to sort of see that result, but would have come through. So an opportunity to sit lone at the top of the table would be great for the Roosters, and they're flying as they have done for the
last few years. There's a lot of talk about how strong they are, how strong the Broncos are. They've really got the chance to stamp their authority against a team that, as you mentioned, is struggling. No wins this year for the Paw Eels. At times you feel like they're about to get some momentum going within matches, but they just haven't been able to turn it into 2 points on the ladder. A couple of big ins for them, as you said, will help things, but then Taron Aiken coming back from the Roosters is pretty scary.
You played the Roosters in your pre-season match, Jada. What makes them such an impenetrable force?
Yeah, I think we constantly speak about it. They've just got strike power across the park. I think when you've got the likes of Isabel Kelly and Jess Surgis in the centres and, Taron Aiken coming back in the halves, but Jocelyn Kelleher had a game the other night where she broke the record for most try assists in a game. So that's what I mean. They're just across the park super, super strong, including, Dally M winner Olivia Koenig in the middle. So, it's going to be a tough night for the Eels, I think.
Dean, when you played, did you prefer to be the hunter or the hunted?
Probably the hunted, because that means you're travelling okay and you don't have to rely on mathematical chances when the season winds towards an end, but I didn't find myself in that position too often, unfortunately.
Jada, lastly, it's Indigenous round, first 2 weeks, both the men's and the women's comp. You're a proud Camilla Roy woman. How important are these sort of weeks to showcase young First Nations kids around the country, and in particular girls, to see the heroes in action today?
Yeah, I think it's really, really nice. I obviously got the opportunity yesterday. It was my first time playing an Indigenous jersey, which a bit sad about the result, but I think what's made it even more special is obviously you get around the community, there's performances pre-game and stuff like that, but our non-Indigenous brothers and sisters too wrapping their arms around the culture and wanting to learn something new, and that's all part of reconciliation, and that's why I love this country.
2 beautiful jerseys tonight. So the Roosters will wear one designed by Tyler Mundine called For Our Next Generation, and the Eels in a mostly black strip as compared to their usual blue and yellow, designed by Sean Kinchella and Colin Walker, symbolising the power of water. So we will get a bit of rain, I think. In fact, it's just started coming down, so maybe that favours the Eels. Hey, the power of water in their jersey. It's raining here at Gossard. We'll be back here in about an hour for kick-off, Maury.
Great work, Decky and team. And Dino, if you're still there, you're down the touchline. You haven't done a lot of that recently. I was talking to Louis and Hoffy earlier about one of your first sideline gigs with us. Remember that day in Melbourne where it bucketed down? Sharks in the storm. One of the coldest, wettest days in the history of the world, and you weren't allowed an umbrella.
Didn't have an umbrella, didn't have a change of clothes. It was a very wet, cold flight back home.
No, you tried to get something from the shops at Tullamarine Airport. The shops were shut. It was a tale of woe. But don't worry, mate. It'll be beautiful up there.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, mate. And can't wait to hear Jada Taylor again this evening on the way home, and then work with her as she's co-hosting with me tomorrow night on NRL Monday between 6:30 and 7:30.
She get back there?
What?
Huh?
Yes. Yeah, no, very professional. So Dragons come out for the second half. It is 12-10, Louis, in favour of the Dragons. What would the mood be like in the respective sheds at halftime?
Yeah, I think they'll be pretty happy with the way they played, and they'll look at a few things that they did wrong, and they'll have to they'll have to fix that up. But I reckon Kyle Flanagan's kicking game's been really good. Their chase has been outstanding. Jacob Little up through the middle has been really, really good as well. So, look, I think the Dragons are doing everything right. For me, though, they haven't been able to do it back to back. So this next 40 minutes very important.
Can you turn the light off, please, Luke?
Anything for you, Andrew.
It'll be the Dragons to kick off, running right to left, defending the southern end of Jubilee. Here we go. Second half. Final game in round 23. Only a month to go after this before we get to the finals. Kick-off taken by Kennedy. Gives the left to Oregon Kafusi. And he's tackled 15 out from his own line and 20 in from touch on the western side. Played to Brayley. Works it away left side again for the Sharkies. Just outside the 20 they go. Tackle made on Katoa. Brayley now goes left to Tom Hazelton. He's caught about 34 out from his own line, though, inside the 10, incidentally, so it is a set restart for Cronulla Sutherland. Now in centre field, Burns. He's caught 5 short of halfway. Plays the ball now to Brayley. Comes to the right, Kafusi. He's tackled 2 metres in St George, Illawarra territory. One-handed pick up, Brayley. Goes right to Nico Hines. Jinking run, can't beat them. He's put to the deck 32 metres out from the Dragons' goal line, western side. Now Brayley to the left to Will Kennedy. Left foot step, claimed. 24 metres out from the line, southern end. Last play. Dummy half, Brayley goes left.
Puts up a kick to that southeast corner. Setu 2 with the catch. Dragons come away with it, and Setu 2 is going to be shoved to the ground. And it's going to be a goal line dropout for St George Illawarra. Gee, that's a good first set from Cronulla. Great result. Minute 15 gone in their second half. It's 12-10 in favour of the Dragons. Good catch by Setu 2. But the chase, particularly from Wilson and Aroti, was just too good.
Yeah, good chase, but I tell you what, the intent from the Sharks, totally different to any set they did in the first half. They come out, they're in hard. Here's a short line dropout from the Dragons.
Kyle Flanagan, up they go. Katoa may have lost it into Burns. No play on for Billy Burns. It came off the Dragons. So he'll play 10 out for the St George Illawarra goal line to Brayley. Goes left to Hazelton, up the middle, straight past one, the Colfiger. He's caught only a metre out from the goal line, right between the southern sticks. Dummy half is Blake Brayley. He floats it left to Hines. Back on the inside, Kafusi. He spins in the tackle. Little was involved. Then he got a one-hander away to Blake Brayley. Brayley comes back to the right as Cronulla Sutherland threatened through Hazelton, but he's thwarted 2 metres out for the goal line in front of the right upright. Brayley comes right, Nico Hines away to Britton Nickera. He's caught, good defence by Val Holmes in the first instance. A couple of metres away again. Brayley, Sharks with it down 12-10. Nico Hines dummies and smacks. 4 metres out from the line. Last play up coming for Cronulla Sutherland. Brayley. He'll go to the left with a long ball to Braden Trindle. They keep it alive. Kennedy to Mawini Haroti. Spins in the tackle. Gets close to the goal line. Terrific defence by Egan and also Setu 2 among others. Change over. Dragons survive. 3 out. 2 in from touch. Southeast corner. 3 gone second half. St George Illawarra 12. Cronulla Sutherland 10 as we check in on the touchline. Ryan Hoffman.
Half-time from the sheds. Craig Fitzgibbon was pretty upfront with his team. He said, in the end, they're running harder than us. And they're tackling harder than us. So he wanted to improve start, and that's exactly what he got for his team. So he'd be very impressed. From Dean Young and the Dragons as they get a penalty here from not being square at marker. He was really impressed with his team. He said, we are up this game into our eyeballs. All we need to do is make sure we're winning this first 10 minutes. Let's think back to our last time when we played against them at Shark Park. We had a bit of a lead, and then they just came out after half-time a lot stronger than us. Also, Max Fangai passed his HIA, but will not be back tonight with a back injury.
What do you say, mate? Up to this into the eyeballs?
Up into this game, into their eyeballs in somehow.
No, sorry, mate.
Somehow it's up to their eyeballs, but we got there.
I thought you said cotton wool balls for a sec.
No.
They take the tap. Caught 13 short of halfway. The first human being we've ever met scared of cotton wool balls. As now it is the Dragons with it. Setu 2. He's going to be caught 8 metres short of halfway. 4 gone second half. St George Illawarra 12, Cronulla Sutherland 10. Now Little goes left, Gutherson to Egan. Nickera greets him with Blake Brayley. And up over halfway he goes by about a metre. Good strong run in the end. He'll play the ball now. And it comes to the left. Little got the pass away to King Tongia. He's wrapped up 9 metres in Sharks half. 20 in from the western touchline. Comes to the field right now. And breaking the line was Stewart. Through 1. Now down 26 out for the Sharks goal line. Last tackle. Comes to the left. King Tongia got the pass away to Couchman. Then a brilliant one-hander to Tyrell Sloan. He slides over to score the try. Dragons strike first, second half. Try to Sloan. 4 minutes 40 gone. And it's St George Illawarra 16. Cronulla Sutherland 10. The crowd roar here at Jubilee to try the left winger Tyrell Sloan, Luke Lewis.
Oh, this is outstanding rugby league here from the Dragons. Really nice ball play. Everything out in front. You got Lycan King Tongia going nice and square into the line. You got a really nice line run there. I think it was from Hamish Stewart actually. Comes over a really nice pass. I thought he was going to go short. I think he sort of pops it out the outside there to Sloan. And that's just a bit of a foot race. Speed up against Katoa on his outside. He only had about a half metre to work in and goes over and slams it down. Only 6 minutes into this second half. They're on the scoreboard, the Dragons. They are on fire.
Back down to Ryan Hoffman on the touchline.
Yeah, that happened right in front of me. That was outstanding play by the Dragons. Number 1, Lycan King Tongia recognised that Ramian was jamming out the back. So Hamish Stewart, beautiful little outline. He got hit short and then gave an absolute peach of a pass to Tyrell Sloan, who finishes his speed to burn out there on the edge. That's a great try, Dragons.
Yeah, that pass was a thing of beauty from Stewart to Tyrell Sloan. 6 gone second half. St George Illawarra 16, Cronulla Sutherland 10, and Val Holmes 25 out, 3 in from the western touchline, almost in Ryan Hoffman's lap. He kicked 2 from 2 in the first half, both from the eastern touchline. Here he goes from the west. Val Holmes, he strikes it, it's heading across the face. No goal. It's a converted try, the difference. 16-10 in favour of St George Illawarra over Cronulla Sutherland with 34 minutes to play. Around the grounds, half-time at Canberra Stadium in the New South Wales Cup. Canberra 16 leading Newcastle 12. AFL second quarter, West Coast leading Collingwood 57-52. And full-time in the Queensland Women's Premiership, South Logan 46 have beaten Tweed Seagulls 12. Still to come, NRLW between Roosters and Eels at Central Coast Stadium with Declan Byrne, Jada Taylor and Dean Hallertau. We'll wrap up what happened earlier today at Canberra Stadium with the Knights 30-24 win over Canberra. And for those staying with us, we'll get our wow moment of the weekend. And for the rest of you, most of you, you'll be listening to NRLW footy as the live action continues here on ABC Sport. Now it is Sully for the Dragons. He's put to the ground, 23 out from his own line, played to Little. He sends the ball left, and the tackle made on Couchman, courtesy of Wilton, 29 out from the Dragons line. Jacob Little moves it left to Jacob Halangahu. He's scored 15 short of halfway. He's agreed to a new long-term extension with St George Illawarra. Played, and it goes left to Clint Gutherson. Hazelton is there in defence with Nickera, and he'll play it 10 metres short of halfway. Does so to Little. Comes to the right. Flanagan the kick on the last from inside the 40, dropping back Mulatalo with an easy take. 15 out from his own line. Heads over the 20 to the 30, and he's put to the ground. 29 out from his own line. Really good, enthusiastic chase. Stewart was there, Egan was there, and Halangahu. Now the next play, it's Cronulla Sutherland to within 13 of halfway, trailing 16-10, played by Ramey into Brayley. He sends it left to Maoni Hiroti. He's taken there by Edwards, about 5 short of halfway. 20 in from touch, eastern side. Brayley comes right to Billy Byrne, short ball Kafusi. He sent one defender, like the King Tonga reeling. 5 metres in Dragons territory. He stood in the tackle. Nico Hines, the double cut-out pass, not a good one. Good catch by Sione Katoa, sliding on his knees. And now he's tackled by Holmes, about 35 out from the Dragons line. 5 in from the western touch line, bringing up the last in a towering kick coming from Braden Trindall. And it's caught by Gutherson for the Dragons. 10 out from their own line. 8 gone second half, Luke Lewis. 16-10 in favour of St George Illawarra.
Now, I just keep thinking back to the other night when the Warriors played against the Panthers, and how hard they run. The Sharks aren't doing that tonight. You're looking at the way that their back three are carrying the ball, a little bit softer, more going sideways, whereas I feel like the Dragons are just running harder, doing everything a lot quicker, and the fight on the ground is a lot better than what the Sharks are offering at the moment as well. So I don't know where this has been all year for the Dragons.
But this also for the Sharks looks like they just expect something will click, and they will get there. And it hasn't yet, as now the Dragons on the left edge. Another good run. Hamish Stewart caught just short of halfway, played to Gutherson on the last, comes right to Lycan King Tonga, boots it down to the northwest corner, underneath it Kennedy with a catch. 21 out from his own line, too much speed for Flanagan, but now he's taken 31 out from his own line. It is 16-10 to St George Illawarra. 8 minutes 40 gone second half. Comes left away now to Wilton. He's trapped about 12 short of halfway. Halangahu was there, played to Brayley, goes left. And now for the Sharkies, Burns caught 4 short of halfway by Edwards and Burns. In fact, Hiroti plays the ball to Brayley, comes open side right, through hand, Burns away to Kafusi. He's caught 2 metres in Dragons territory, 20 in from the western touchline. Now Brayley goes left away to Burns, straightens into the defence and claimed. 36 out from the Dragons line, last play, Sharks who trail 16-10. He goes left. He kicked from Braden Trindall down to the right wing. Sedu, 2 great catch for the Dragons. He's got it and will play the footy about 15 out from his own line. 9 minutes 30 gone second half. St George Illawarra 16, Cronulla Sutherland 10. You with Luke Lewis, Ryan Hoffman. I'm Andrew Moore on NRL Sunday. Is now Holmes a good run, but he's scored 34 out from his own goal line. Plays the ball to Gutherson. He sends it to the right edge. The Dragons get to within 11 metres of halfway. Looking good, up 16 points to 10. Now Little
Sends it left away. Flick out the back by Couchman. Wayward went beyond Edwards. Scooped up by Gutherson. He gets away from Braden Trindle, but tackled now. 13 short of halfway. Last tackle Dragons. Comes right. Flanagan drills a kick downfield. Dropping back at Toa. It bounces to him. 14 out from his own line. And just head down. Bum up Katoa. Good run. Scored 35 out from his own line. 16-10 Dragons. Louis with just under half an hour to go.
Well, they're the kind of carries that the Sharks need. Sione Katoa gets the ball. We've just absolutely sprinted into the line of the Dragons.
Drop ball Nico Hines on play 2.
And that's just rewind everything we just said.
Well, Flanagan is cheering. It's going to be a Dragons scrum, but no. The markers might have been interference as Nico Hines played. Yeah, it interfered with by Cole Flanagan. So it is a penalty to the Sharks, 3 short of halfway. Touchline, Hoffy.
Yeah, there was a bit of enthusiasm shown by Cole Flanagan looking to get out of market, but he was way too early. I've just been watching the body language and chat between the two halves, Nico Hines and Braden Trindle. Braden Trindle is really remonstrating with his other half. They're not getting to where they want to be. They're not getting to their marks to be able to put on their plays.
Yeah, it's looking clunky where it hasn't done that for the last couple of months. Here's Trindle turning it into Hazelton, and he's tackled 10 to make it 9 metres out from the St George Illawarra line. Brayley goes right to Trindle, turns it back on the inside to Burns, and Burns gets close, but he's now knocked to the ground. 3 metres away from the Dragons goal line, centre field, southern end. Played to Brayley, goes right to Oregon. Kafusi for the line. He stands in the tackle with his back to the defenders, half a metre away. 16-10 Dragons. Sharks attack. It comes to the right to Trindle. Takes them on. Then he floats the ball away to his right. Can the Sharks actually get the ball down through the centre? Ramian, yes. I don't even know how deliberate that pass was, but he got down for it, Jesse Ramian, and he scored the try. Sharks hit back. 28 minutes, 10 seconds to go. St George Illawarra 16, Cronulla Sutherland 14.
Yeah, just like that, not much doing. Bit of a dummy. You're right. The pass was probably a little bit of a hope when he throws it out the back. You can't rule on a forward pass. So actually, when you look at it, sort of looks a little bit forward or floats forward, but then Jesse Ramian gets down low. That's a big pickup.
What a catch. Yeah, I don't think it was forward, although we're in an impossible angle to tell either way. But just didn't look a deliberate pass from Trindle. Maybe he did mean to link up with Ramian, but the ball kind of slipped out of his hand. And Ryan Hopper, what a catch from the Sharks centre.
Yeah, certainly amazing catch by Jesse Ramian, especially in this weather. It is still quite greasy. There's still a bit of drizzle coming down. But I mentioned before, Braden Trindle was looking a bit frustrated. He just decided to take it all on his own. Big dummy down close to the line. Got his arm free, but Jesse Ramian finished that off like all outside backs should.
Gee, you're tough, Hoffy. Not even a hint of an umbrella down there. Where are you from again? Well, where do you live?
No, it's beautiful.
That's right, Sunbaker. That's it. Here's Nico Hines. About 9 in from the western touchline, make it 10. Moves in now, Nico, he strikes it, heading towards the post, lights it, kicks the goal. So Nico Hines is 2 from 3, and it's 16 all. St George Illawarra against Cronulla Sutherland with 27 minutes to play. NRL Sunday here on ABC Sport around the ground. Halftime New South Wales Cup, Canberra 16, leading Newcastle 12. AFL second quarter, West Coast 57, leading Collingwood 52. And AFLW second quarter, Carlton 26, leading St Kilda 8. Reminder tomorrow night, NRL Monday from 6:30. And my co-host will be Cronulla Sutherland NRLW star Jada Taylor, who you'll hear shortly in the NRLW game with Declan and Dean. So from the kick-off, Hazelton's put to the ground, 20 metres out from the Sharks line and 18 in for the western touchline. Brayley sends it left. The hit-up comes down from Oregon Kafusi. Tackle 26 out from his own line by Gula. Played to Brayley to the left. Through hands it goes, and they're 12 metres short of halfway, the Sharks. Dummy half Brayley. Goes away left, taking on the defensive line, Wilson. But he's claimed only 2 metres in St George Illawarra territory. Brayley pumps it right to Nico Hines with the right foot step into Couchman. He's caught about 38 out from the Dragons goal line, bringing up the last for the Sharks. Brayley, line side left to Braden Trindle. Up goes a towering kick to the wing of Sedu and Gutherson. Up they fly. What a catch. Gutherson must have nearly flown into the clouds to catch that. And he comes down with it with Wilton on top of him. 4 out from his own line. He's in great form, Clint Gutherson.
Yeah, last week he played really well as well. But tonight, under the high ball, he's been phenomenal. But even his little efforts around in defence has been excellent. But I'll tell you what, pressure that he had coming on him on that occasion to come down with that ball, that was phenomenal.
So now the Dragons have it, about 22 out from their own line. Yeah, we called their loss last week at Wollongong, and he got points from you, Louis, as the Dragons now. Surely got it away down to Setu too, down the eastern touchline, but he's put to the ground about 6 metres short of halfway. Plays it for the Dragons, kick downfield from Kyle Flanagan. Pretty shallow, risky manoeuvre from Katoa to allow it to bounce, but it does bounce into his lap, and he steps straight past Val Holmes. Tackled now, 15 short of halfway, 15 in from the western touchline there by Stewart. Over left Ramian, a left foot step. 16 all, Dragons and Sharks. 15 minutes gone, second half. Cronulla Sutherland, 12 short of halfway. Played to Trimble, goes right to Kennedy. He's scored 7 short of halfway by Jacob Little, who's been hooker for the entirety of the game thus far. Now to the right, that's Britton Nicker, a first receiver. He's taken 4 metres in Dragons territory, 20 in from the western touchline, and they concede a set restart relatively late in the tackle count as well. Up the middle goes Hazelton. He scored 38 metres out from the St George Illawarra goal line. He plays the ball. And Brayley, centre left Trindle, then away to Kafusi. He's going to be standing in the tackle 30 metres out from the line. Played to Brayley, short side left again to Kennedy. He turns it into Wilton. And Teese over the 20, put down about 19 out. Gutherson among the defenders. Plays it in the distance to Brayley. Long ball goes right, Trindle. Hands it on the inside to Hazelton. Probing away. Tackle 11 metres out. Last tackle now, Cronulla. Brayley goes right to Trindle. Short ball away to Nico Hines. Away to Nickera. He lost it. He juggled it and spat out of his arms. Will be a change over to St George Illawarra. Right on the Dragons' 10-metre line. 16 gone. 16 all the score. The Dragons bent, but they did not break.
They did a good job again. The Dragons defending their line. It was nice sort of set-up play, but just need to soften that pass up there for Britton Nicker. So they're sort of running the same line, so they're a little bit off with their attack. Just the way that you can watch it at the moment. Yep. Just sort of, really trying to sort of take note of what they've been doing over the last few weeks. But they're all running into the same holes. They're all running overs lines. Whereas the last couple of weeks when they were playing well, the Sharks are playing really square in the line. They got movement on the inside, on the outside, and out the back. But at the moment, it's just not happening for them.
Dragons from the restart have a 12 out from their own goal line. And it is 16 all the score. Here's Sewell. He scored 20 out from his own line. Let's check in with Ryan Hoffman on the touchline.
I actually think the Dragons are playing more expansive and more attractive football than what Cronulla are at the moment. The only way Cronulla are getting down into the St George end has been a bit of lack of discipline. 6 against, penalties has invited Cronulla down, but they're actually doing really well with the football, the Dragons, and testing the Cronulla defence.
St George Illawarra in centre field. Pacifica Tonga got a pass away, ends up with Gutherson. Stands in the tackle there of Kafusi and Brayley. 1 short of halfway. Played on the last. Little goes left. Liking King Tonga. Puts boot to ball, dropping back to Toa. He never looked like catching that. He drops it backwards. He gathers a 10 out from his own line. Crowd thought it was a knock on. And it was a really poor effort by Katoa. He hasn't not looked like catching a kick for about the last 5. Plays it back centre field for the Sharkies. Ramian scored 13 out from his own goal line. It is 16 all with 22 and a bit to go.
I can understand why the crowd...
knock on Cronulla anyway. As it's put down by Mawani Hiroti, scooped up now by Setutu, spins away from 1, scored 27 out. Here's that St George chant again. We've heard it so few times this year. Emre Gula up the middle over the 20. Can't offload. He's 18 metres out from the goal line. The ball played. Little goes back to his right. St George Illawarra get to within 11 of the line. Defence from Brayley and Hazelton. Out's played to Little, goes to his right to Flanagan, then out the back to Gutherson. Gutherson away from 1, Gutherson away from 2, comes all the way back to the left, spins in the tackle, got away from Burns and still going Gutherson. Now he's held up and held 11 metres out from the goal line. He plays the ball to Little, comes to the left, through hands, a little left foot kick for Flanagan, heads in goal, hitting the deck, Val Holmes on the chase, picked up by Kennedy, penalty to the Dragons for the contact on Holmes. That could be a sin bin. 21 minutes 10 to go. Penalty Dragons, and we'll see what Liam Kennedy does. 16 all the score, but it'll be a chance here for the Dragons to reclaim the lead.
He'd be taking the two here surely, but no, they're not looking up to send him. That's it, penalty sufficient. I'd like to see another replay just to see how much Jesse actually moves out of the way.
Jake Sotherland shot a goal.
Taking goal, that's it.
They brought the penalty back now 20 metres in from the western touchline. So Clint Gutherson gets the penalty, but still arguing things with referee Kennedy, as his Guthos want.
I don't know why he didn't open the bin.
That's why we don't think that it's just a penalty. That's why we just... Yeah, but in our opinion, the Sharks, fullback's always going to get it. But he takes it out. Well, there's a difference, okay? You're right on that 20th on touch, mate.
So there you go. Liam Kennedy, he knew he was in for a long day. He had Mitch Moses last week, Gutho this week. And Val Holmes with an important shot, Louis. 18 out, 20 in from the western touchline. 20 minutes gone. 20 minutes left, second half at 16 apiece.
Yeah, it's one of those kicks too, Maury, where you expect them to get it, but it's sort of on that little bit of an angle where you see a lot of people miss from here. So big kick here with Valentine Holmes. But
I've seen Val miss every now and then.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to give the Dragons a massive rap. The way that they're playing, everyone's just moving on the ball. They look really, really good.
They're still going to do it, though, for another 20 minutes. Here's the kick from Val Holmes for the lead. 2 from 3 thus far. Step back, in he comes. Moves in, strikes it with the right boot. Likes it, kicks the goal. Holmes 3 from 4. St George Illawarra leads the derby 18-16 over Cronulla Sotherland. 19 and a half to go. Down to Hoppy on the touchline.
Yeah, I reckon Cronulla a bit fortunate there. He had a pretty good argument there, Cliff Gutherson. He obviously made an intentional way to take out a kick. I don't know how it can't be a professional foul. But anyway, St George get the 2 points. It's been their back three. Setu to Clint Gutherson and Tyrrell Sloan over there on the edge. They've been tremendous at the back, taking high balls, getting themselves out of the end. They could be the 3 players that take them to the victory here tonight.
There's only really been one weak player under any sort of high ball, and that's Yannick Katoa. Kick off from Blake Brayley right down to that southeast corner again. And they return the ball now. And with the ball for the Dragons is Loco Pacifica Tonga. He plays it 10 metres out from his own line. Jacob Little sends the ball right edge. Sully caught 18 out from his own line. Dragons 18, Sharks 16, 18 and a half to go. On this NRL Sunday, Hoffy will have all the interviews post-game. Louis with the ABC Player of the Year points, and then a whole lot of stuff happening. Here's Ryan Couchman. Caught mid-quarter halfway, St George Illawarra territory. Played to Little, goes to his left. King Tong here turns it back on the inside. And taking the tackle home, stands in the tackle, 10 metres short of halfway. Little goes right to Flanagan for the kick on the last. Down to the wing of Ronaldo Mulatalo, near the eastern touchline with the catch. 20 out from his own line, brings it over the 30. I've asked you this before, Louis. What's the logic in going to Mulatalo there instead of Katoa, who looked really vulnerable?
Well, I think maybe just because they take him out to play on the first carry. It's a little bit more of a dangerous carry on play too, but depending on where they're set up to on the field, yeah.
So now the Sharks 12 short of halfway. Fanua Blake, short ball away. They're Braden Welly on the field for the first time. He's caught 5 short of the halfway mark. Braden Brayley goes right to Nico Hines, takes on the line, but he loses the ball, Nico Hines. Dear, dear. And it's going to be a play the ball for St George Illawarra, 10 short of halfway, and that ricochets straight out of Nico Hines' hands over the western touchline and past this new touch Jake Sutherland on the western side. So be it, Dragons play the ball 7 short of halfway with a tick over 17 minutes to go.
It is so weird watching the way that they're playing at the moment. It's very bizarre, is all I can say.
Well, we're joking that Michael Carianis was the win predictor last night with Parramatta coming back against South. Dragons in front, 18, 16, 17 left. What percentage chance do you give them of win?
With the way they're playing at the moment, we'll give them 20.
20%? Yeah. Dragons.
Oh, no, I mean the Sharks to come back and win. 20%.
Okay, here come the Dragons to the right edge, Egan. He scored 22 out in front of the scoreboard on the hill. Played a little, comes to the left side. Through hands it goes, King Tonga away. Gutherson, he got the pass onto support and a great tackle. Here comes on Val Holmes. 17 out from the goal line. And now on the last tackle, Gutherson from dummy half. Turns it in, but 18 kilometres forward to Tyrrell Sloan. The pass went from Jubilee to the city.
It's going to be a changeover to Cronulla. 10 out from their own line, 16 and a half left. Dragons 18, Sharks 16. Touchline Ryan Hoffman.
Yeah, there's a bit of drama here for the Sharks as Jesse Raymond did a bit of Barney rubble with his shoulder as he came in on that tackle on Valentine's Holmes. He came out straight away. He might have actually popped it out here.
Yeah, it looks like if he comes off, Cam McKinnon set to come back on. Fanua Blake on the Sharks 20, plays it to Brayley, goes left to Braden Welly, and he's going to be tackled. 28 out from his own line, 20 in from touch on the eastern side. This will take a comeback here from the Sharks if they're to win. Trindle from his own 30. He's looking for a 40-20. Down to the eastern side. He's got the angle, and the ball's over the touchline. Where is the flag from Dave Munro going up?
Metre short.
Wow. It's a great kick, great effort by Trindle, but according to the touch judge, it is going to be a Dragons ball, 21 out from their own line. That 40-20 attempt from inside the 30. Ryan Hoffman doing his best John Gibbs impression. Arm is up. What's doing, Hoffy?
Yeah, Jesse Raymond's gone. I actually think it might be a peck. Just seeing the testing that the trainer was doing there, I think it's his peck.
Yep.
But he's gone. He looks like he's done for the night.
He looks in distress, Hoffy. That looks like it might be beyond tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, when he was checking him, it did definitely look like he was doing a pec check, so not good.
Here's a set restart now for the Dragons. 32 out from their own line, leading 18-16 with quarter of an hour to go. They've only won 2 games this year, the Dragons. Can they maintain it here over the last 15 minutes? They're 5 short of halfway. To his feet now is Gula. Plays the ball a little. They go right to King Tongia. He's over the halfway, caught 2 metres in Cronulla Sutherland territory. 20 in from the eastern touchline. Little right to left. King Tongia gets it back centre field, and Couchman's going to be caught 10 metres short inside Cronulla territory. Play to Cook, to Little rather. Goes left. King Tongia got a short pass away. Stewart taken 30 out from the goal line. Last play Dragons leading 18-16. The kick now from Lycan King Tongia. Challenge here for Will Kennedy. Up he goes with a catch. Cronulla Sutherland has it 7 out from their own line with 14 minutes to play and an 18-16 lead to St George Illawarra. Here's Katoa from first receiver. Taken by Little, taken by Stewart. But only 10 out from his own goal line. They don't look like they've got a heap of energy at the moment, the Sharkies. There's Mulatalo. He's caught in front of his own post, 12 out from his own line. Brayley sends the ball right edge this time. They just managed to cross the 20 through Sione Katoa. It's going to be played to Brayley. Open side left Nickera. He's taken 30 out from his own line and 20 in from touch western side. Brayley. Cut out ball left Trindle. He kicks it downfield. Sedu 2's back there. Oh, and he dropped it. Very near the touchline. Flag stayed down. Oh, then he sends a 25-metre pass left to Gutherson. He sends a long ball to Tyrell Sloan over the 20. Over the 30, rounded up by Nickera. 15 short of halfway. 2 in from the western touchline. Now fell Holmes. Knocked to the ground by Katoa. Went up, got through another. Finished off by Hines. 3 short of halfway. It's got frantic all of a sudden. Now St George Illawarra. Big hit coming from Fanua Blake on Hamish Stewart. 5 metres in Sharks territory. Little goes to his right. Gula to Flanagan to Gutherson. Then away to Surley. Look to link up with Sedu. 2 went without it. And it goes behind him and over the eastern touchline. But it was touched by Cronulla in flight. And I think it might have been Mulatalo coming in to get a hand to the footy. So it is going to be a Dragons ball. 38 metres out. Let's have a listen to the referee's call time out here. William Kennedy. No?
Yeah.
No, nothing doing. It's going to be a scrum feed to St George Illawarra. 38 out from the Sharks line. 12 and a half to go.
Who's been caught out? Fanua Blake's been caught out for that tackle.
Okay. Let's have a listen.
Direct contact to the chin. It's high. It's on the corner in the bin.
And Fanua Blake has been with 12 and a half minutes to go. For the tackle that we mentioned on the run, but there was no action taken, and it's a penalty going to St George Illawarra. 5 metres in Sharks territory, but Fanua Blake gone. He'll return with 2 and a half to go. There's some late action.
Well, live I didn't see it, but then you watch the replay and you can see that his shoulder does get his chin. And, it's when he hit the shoulder with force to the head, so definitely 10 in the bin. It's obviously come from upstairs. But I tell you what, the Dragons don't even need one player down at the moment. They're still tearing the Sharks' numbers apart at the moment.
So now the Dragons 13 on 12. They lead 18-16. Are they teasing or are they giving their supporters a great day? 30 metres out. It's played by Couchman. Comes centre field right. Gula stands in the tackle. 21 away from the Cronulla Sotherland line. He plays the ball. They work it away left. Through hands it comes out the back. King Tongia turns it into Holmes. He got the pass away in the tackle to Little. Now through hands. Gula got it on the Pacifica Tonga. And he's put to the ground. 9 out from the Cronulla line. 12 minutes to go. 18-16 Dragons. 13 on 12 Dragons. Flanagan goes right to Surley. Burns is over there with Trindle near the touchline in the northeast corner. Tackle made. 5 metres out. Played to 2. Comes to the left Egan. Then through hands Flanagan. Got the pass away and Dylan Egan goes without it or Couchman. Couchman is not on. Another error Dragons. Do they know how to ice this? 11 and a half to go. 18-16 St George Illawarra to the touchline. Ryan Hoffman.
Yeah, I don't actually mind this from the Dragons. They're still looking to score points. It could be very easy thinking 2 points ahead. Let's play conservative. But that didn't get them into this position. I like that they're still trying to put on points. They want to put Cronulla to the bed. They don't want to try and hold on to a victory here. They want to take the victory.
Crowd figure 11,018 here on a bleak Sunday in Sydney at Jubilee. 11,018. Now Cronulla Sutherland with the ball. 18 out from their own line. Brayley. He gets a pass left to Cam McInnes, who scored 23 out from his own line. Plays the ball Brayley. Blindside left it goes again. Wilson is going to be tackled. 31 out from his own line. They need field position, the Sharks. Brayley comes open side right to Braden Welly. Good to see old mate still here. Get him on side. 10 short of halfway, the Sharks. Pointy. Flaherty goes left away to Kennedy. Then a cut-out ball. Not a great one to Mawani Hiroti. Accelerates but taken. 9 metres in Dragons territory in front of that Eastern Hill where most of the play's been on the last. Played to Brayley, comes right to Trindle. Puts up a towering kick down to Gutherson, who's under no pressure. With the catch, 5 out from his own goal line, but he can't beat the defence. Taken 7 out from his own line, Louis. 10 minutes to go. St George Illawarra 18, Cronulla Sutherland 10.
They've got to be smart here, the Dragons. They can't afford to give away a field position here. They need to get through their set, kick it down long, and keep the pressure on the Sharks while they're 1 man down at the moment.
Now the Dragons. Ball played to Jacob Little, who's been out there from the get-go. He sent it away right. Tackle made on Stewart. Now comes left on the next play. Gutherson up the middle. Good run again. Caught 9 short of halfway. Played on the last set of field. Little Flanagan to his right. Drills a kick downfield. Bounces over the 10-metre line to the goal line. Kennedy fields it. Runs back through the uprights. Over the 10. Looks to be a really good chase, and it is. And Kennedy pushed back inside his own 10. So they've maintained this, the Dragons, for 70 minutes and 40 seconds, but they're going to have to do it for 80. Can they? Here's Katoa. Tackled 16 out from his own line on play 2, and he stayed down. From the tackle that came, 17 out from the goal line by Emre Gula. And it's a penalty. It's deemed a high tackle. Penalty goes to the Sharks. 9 minutes left to play.
Well, that's the little things I'm talking about. They just have to be smart here. There's no contact to the... Oh, yeah, there. When he spins out of the Valentine Holmes one.
It was Gula.
Gula gets him just as he gets a little bit wrong-footed. But you can't give these opportunities to the Sharks. You need to be squeaky clean. You've got 8.5 minutes left on the clock. Get through this defensive set here and then keep the pressure on as the rain's starting to come down.
Tap taken by Billy Burns on halfway, and he scored 10 metres in Dragons territory. Rain might be coming down. Hoffy still Sawn's umbrella. Here's McInnes back on the inside to Braden Welly. And he gets to within 30 metres of the Dragons line. 18-16 St George Illawarra. Brayley goes left, Trindle, short ball onto McInnes. The crowd thought it was forward in the distance. I got no idea from here. 20 metres out, looked okay. Plays it, they go short side left to Kennedy. He turns it back on the inside to Mawani Hiroti. And he's standing in the tackle. Gets within 12 metres of the goal line in that far corner. Finally to his feet, played to Brayley. Comes right to McInnes. Links up now, single away. Nico Hines throws a moonball to Katoa. It's a terrible pass from Hines, and Sione Katoa went without it. That's really poor from Cronulla. We've seen a lot of that today. Dragons come up with a 12 out from their own line. He's been so good recently, Nico Hines, but not so yet today. He could still be the match winner, but he's struggling this afternoon. As now the Dragons take it up over their own 20-metre line, leading 18-16 with 7.5 to go.
Well, he is struggling, but you've got to give the Dragons a rap with their defence, just getting up and frustrating the Cronulla Sharks attack. So really well done. I think their work during the week, their video work, that they've really sort of come here and they've nailed what they wanted to do.
7 short of halfway. Little sends it left now to the Pacifica Tonga. Caught 9 metres in Sharks territory. Last play, Jacob Little goes right. Mike and King Tonga puts boot the ball down to the fullback Kennedy. There's a heck of a chase on, but a great catch by Kennedy, and he's taken immediately. Terrific chase defensively from the kick there, coming from Kyle Flanagan. Now the Sharks work it left to Katoa. Back on the field, Jesse Colquhoun, their 7th interchange. They have 1 to go. There's 6 minutes 48 left to play. And a big upset is looming. 18-16 to St George Illawarra. Colquhoun hits it up. He's caught on the Luke Lewis line. 15 short of halfway by Egan. Plays it to Brayley. Goes right Trindle. He's going to try again. Setu dropped back and took a catch. Awkwardly, but he took it well. 25 out from his own line. He's going to get back near the 40. Throws a long ball left to Gutherson on his own 30. He gets to the 40. Offloaded to Sloan. Sloan got straight past Katoa. Straight past Hines. Tyrell takes on Kennedy. Benton put down ball and all. 21 out from the line and 4 in from touch western side. Plays it to King Tonga. Comes to the right through hand. Flanagan to Egan. He got the pass away. Sully to 2. 2 down the eastern touch line. Pass 1. Drives over. Gets it down. Try. Tyrell Sloan turns around to the crowd, punches the air like he was Leighton Hewitt at Wimbledon. Beating Dubbin now Bandian. It's a try to the Dragons. Setu 2 is over. Dragons 22. Cronulla Sutherland 16, right in the corner, right in front of the old scoreboard.
Well, Setu 2 starts the whole raid. He catches the ball a bit awkwardly, like you said before. He comes across field and he passes to Gutho. They keep the ball alive, and then Sloan in the open space. It was a really nice tackle by Will Kennedy, but they had to go straight back to that right side, and they did it very well here, the Dragons. They got the ball out where it needed to go. Quick little tip on from Sully to find Setu 2, and then he does a great job, but I just want to see the vision. I know he gets it down, but it looks like his knees go very close to the sideline here.
I've already written it in, Louis.
I'm going to write it here. Ready? Tackle coming across. Trindle misses him. And, out. Is that in or out?
I think he might be out. Let's get a second opinion. Ryan Hoffman.
Well, I don't know. It's on the other side of the field. I'm looking at the same replay you are, as we just see another one. Oh, I don't know.
We need to go back to head on, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Here we go.
He's out. No, is he or not?
Yes.
It's simultaneous.
He's out. Simultaneous is out.
Yeah. All right, well, there you go. He's out. So do we all agree he's out?
Yeah.
Those in favour say aye.
Aye.
I think the ayes have it. That means very little, though, to Wyatt Raymond in the bunker. That is a tough one. And it's a huge call. 4 minutes 30 to go. And I'll get the Monokis up. It's right in the far corner from us. He's not allowed to take the shot yet, Balholmes. He's got it lined up, 28 metres out, half a metre in. Liam Kennedy says to Val, just wait there, dude. Just wait. He's waiting for word from the bunker.
Yep. He's out. What are they looking at?
Yeah, we're going officially to the bunker. It's going to be denied. Let's have a listen if we can.
Two little aspects of play in the lead up. Setu 2's right foot remains up at this point. However, now we're looking at the right knee. On this frame, it remains in. When we go one frame forward, the right knee is now in touch as the ball is grounded. This is simultaneous, therefore he's in touch. We have a decision.
All right, I'll cross it out. Score remains 18-16. St George Illawarra over Cronulla Sutherland with 5 minutes 53 to go.
Amazing work, though, from the Dragons. Beautiful work from the backfield. They're passing the ball Some really nice shift back over to that right side to find Setu 2 or play later. And good scramble defence there from the Sharks to still hold them out and somehow still be in this game with the way that they've been playing.
It is amazing that this is going to the wire, isn't it? 6 minutes to go. 5 minutes 53 when play resumes. And now from the hit-up, Katoa. Caught 15 now from his own line. Played to Brayley, goes right to Burns. But where's the spark going to come from the Sharkies? If the Dragons play smart, they should win, but they're not used to winning. Brayley sends it left to Colhoun, then away McInnes, centre field. He scored 32 metres out from his own goal line. Plays it now to Brayley. He goes left to Trindle, then away through hands Wilton. On his back, 8 short of halfway in the eastern side. Tackled by Egan, played to Brayley. Comes to the right, Colhoun to Trindle to Hines. And Nico straight into the fence. He's nailed a metre in Dragons territory. Last play coming up here for Cronulla Sotherland. And comes left Trindle. Towering kick again down to the wing of Setu 2. Runs to his left. Good catch again. Geez, good. He scored 14 out from his own line. 5 left. 18-16 Dragons. Touchline Ryan Hoffman.
It's been really good. I don't understand why the Cronulla Sharks keep persisting with the high ball. It doesn't seem to be working. The Dragons back three have been tremendous. We've got 2 minutes left until Adam Fanua-Blake comes on the field, so they're going to have about 2 minutes 40 seconds with 13 on 13 to try and win this game, Cronulla.
Yeah, that's the other thing they've nearly forgotten about. Fanua-Blake in the bin for another 2 minutes. 4.5 left. 18-16 Dragons. Up the middle they go. 2 and then 3 of halfway. There's another run of great spark from Gutherson. It comes left. King Tongia puts right boot to ball, looking for Katoa. He's got the catch. 20 out from his own line, but there's a brilliant red wall put up by the Dragons, and he'll play at 29 out from his own line with 4 minutes 10 left on the ticking clock. Played to Hines, goes left to Britton Nickera. It's 1 out from Cronulla. He scored 11 metres short of halfway. Lost the ball. They don't deserve this, the Sharks. Their attack's been so off, and in light of the brilliant Dragons defence, and another lost ball. We've got a captain's challenge, however. This seems like a toss-up. We'll hear what Wyatt Raymond says from the bunker. 4 minutes to go. 18-16 Dragons are leading the Sharks.
You can see that Jacob Little's just tackling the ball at this point. There's no stripping action, and Britton Nickera loses possession. The challenge is unsuccessful.
We've seen a lot of those in this second half from the Sharkies. Dragons have field position, Louis. Clock in their favour and the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good opportunity here now for the Dragons to put this to bed. If they just get through their set nicely, set up a nice play, they've got to keep asking questions. They can't sit there and think that they've got this game won with 4 minutes left on the clock and they're up by 2. They've still got to try and score some more points here.
38 metres out from the Sharkies goal line. Scrum being fed. 3 minutes 57 to play. 18-16. But Cronulla don't look like getting downfield at the moment.
There's no energy at all.
Dragons have plenty. And have they the nous to go on with this? Scrum fled by Flanagan. Picked up by Jacob Little. He goes right, Setu 2. Straight past Mawani Hiroti. Like he was and then beats a couple. And this time there'll be no pain on his knee. He's over to score. Setu 2. He does a bit of a dance. An Indigenous cultural jig in the in-goal area. Try to the Dragons. 3 minutes 40 to go. St George Illawarra extend. They lead 22-16 with a kick to come.
Yeah, brilliant work here off the scrum. Setu 2. He's had some really nice touches this afternoon. A couple of big takes. He got denied a couple of minutes ago. And this time he just gets the ball and gets on the outside of Mawani Hiroti, who uses his left hand as a fend, just holds him off, and then it's a foot race and he's in the backfield. Brilliant work. That's just individual brilliance there. And that is poor miss from Mawani Hiroti. And that is game set for the Dragons. And well done. What a win. Didn't say bingo though.
Touchline Ryan Hoffman.
Let's not forget, Setu 2 came off the bench tonight. That's a pretty fair player to bring off the bench with Max Vagai's injury. That was great. It was just a one-on-one miss, but that's how the Dragons have been playing. They're competing and everything. But I've got to say, how great was to see all the Dragons mob each other after that try. They worked hard for this victory. They deserve to celebrate.
Don't they? And they deserve the win, St George Illawarra. So, 17 out, 20 in from touch, eastern side. The kick from Val Holmes to put it beyond doubt. 3 minutes to go here at Jubilee.
St George Illawarra 22, Cronulla Sutherland 16. And all of a sudden after the weekend, the Sharks' top 4 will be in peril. Here comes Holmes, moves in, strikes it, likes it, kicks the goal. Val Holmes 4 out of 5. St George Illawarra 24, Cronulla Sutherland 16. 2.5 left. Gee, I haven't said this much in the last 18 months. Game, set, bingo! The Dragons are going to win. And what a deserved victory for them here at home as well. Around the grounds, New South Wales Cup second half. Newcastle 20, leading Canberra 16. AFL third quarter, Collingwood 79, leading West Coast 59. And AFLW third quarter, St Kilda and Carlton leading by 42 points to 20. Now there's an amended charge coming from the Melbourne Storm's Cam Munster, the charge of dangerous contact. The Match Review Committee considered the contents of a medical report provided by the Injured Players Club, which offered preliminary details. The Match Review Committee has received a further report which materially alters the nature and extent of the injury suffered by the player. What a lot of crap in this. What is the end result? We'll get to that very, very shortly. As now it's Cronulla, after getting the short kick-off, they have it 9 metres out from the St George Illawarra line. The most boring verbal media release you've ever seen in your life from the NRL. Brayley goes left to Trindle, then away to Will Kennedy, steps in field, knocked to the ground by Egan. 15 out from the line, 1 minute 47 to play. Played to Brayley, comes to the right, McInnes away to Fanua Blake. He's caught 8 metres out from the goal line, 7-6. By the time he hits the deck in front of the right upright. Last tackle, played to Brayley, comes to the left, Trindle away to Nico Hines. Cut out ball to Trindle, he got the pass away. But the defence is there on Hiroti. Change over, Dragons survive. 1 minute 20 to go, Dragons 24, Cronulla 16.
Yeah, another nice defensive set there by the Dragons. Everyone doing their job. They're getting up off their line. They're holding their line. They've got the inside men. They're telling them when to go. There's a whole lot of trust there. And some really nice one-on-one defence. Well done, Dragons. That's an outstanding defensive set. But they've been really good all afternoon.
So the Cam Munster charge, which resulted in a 1-game suspension for the Melbourne Storm, has been altered and changed by the Match Review Committee. It sounds like they're making it up as they go, and it's now a fine rather than a suspension. And I've got to say, from everything I've seen, that seems to be a fair result.
Absolutely. There was nothing in it. I wouldn't even give it a fine.
Here's the Dragons now with it. Outside their 10, they've only got 40 seconds, and they're going to have their third win of the season, St George Illawarra. Ball's going to be played by Pacifica Tonga very slowly to Little. Comes to his left, and players slipping over now with 18 minutes, 18. Make it 24 seconds to go. Looking at the clock, a lot of people starting to leave Jubilee here. Crowd of over 11,000 on a murky, bleak day with plenty of light rain, nothing much beyond that. Dragons have 10 seconds before they can celebrate. Gutherson, what a game he's had. Takes on McInnes. A couple of others come across. Reckon that'll be it. He's held. 25 out. The Dragons fans, the long-suffering fans, are on their feet. They've had a win. They're going to have a good week. They can go to work tomorrow with a smile. They can go to school tomorrow and not get picked on. The Dragons have won. They've beaten their nemesis, their derby rivals, Cronulla Sutherland, 24-16, and Luke Lewis. That is a thoroughly well-deserved win. They did not play like a team that hasn't been able to beat time with a stick. Great effort by them. Third win of the year for the Saints.
Yeah, they did a really good job tonight, the Dragons. Right from the kickoff, the way that they carried the ball, their line speed was great in defence. I thought their ruck speed was really, really good. Jacob Little out of dummy half was brilliant. All their outside backs ripped in and got the forwards on the front foot. And I thought their goal line defence was absolutely outstanding. So they did a really good job tonight, the Dragons. But Clint Gutherson, number 1. Wow, what a game.
I see here Georgia Liverpool says, team, who said Sharks by thousands?
That was me.
Instead, the Dragons winning. Spot that light on for me, Louis, if you don't mind. 24-16 for St George Illawarra. Tries to Val Holmes in the 14th minute. Hamish Stewart in the 25th. Tyrell Sloan in the 45th. Setu 2 in the 77th. Val Holmes 4 from 5. 2 restarts. For Cronulla Sutherland, Tries to Sione Katoa in the 6th minute, Billy Burns in the 33rd, Jesse Raymond in the 53rd, Nico Hines 2 from 3, Adam Fanua-Blake on report for a shoulder to the head and he was sent in the 68th minute. 3 restarts, penalties 5-3 to the Dragons, who turn a 12-10 half-time lead into a 24-16 victory before a crowd of 11,018 here at Jubilee Stadium. All right, now we'll try and pick up Hoffy and Ralph Tucker out there. I can see you boys. Hoffy's waving. Let's go down to you in the Dragons camp, Ryan.
Yeah, fellas, I'm down here with Jacob Little. Jacob, amazing victory. It's great to hear when the Saints coming from this big crowd.
Yeah, bloody oath. The boys dug deep there. It was a great win on our home ground. The fans turned up and we really needed that one.
You yourself played the full 80 minutes. How's the lungs? You're finding a lot of space there, especially in the first half.
Yeah, it's been a while. I had the boys around me, keeping me going, so I was fine. I'll do anything for the boys.
With about 10 minutes to go, you're up by 2. You're still chancing arm. You're still playing football. Was that the message for the players to keep?
But it was good.
I'm sure the coach will be happy for an 80-minute performance. You know, you're up at half-time and then to be up after 80 minutes. Is that the type of form that you wanted to hit throughout this year?
Yeah, but it hasn't gone the way I wanted it this year. So to find that, as I said, means a lot for us, for the boys, for the club. I know we're not where we want to be on the ladder, so a win like that for the fans is great.
3rd win of the year, Jake. Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, Jacob Little there with Ryan Hoffman here at Jubilee after the Dragons have stunned Cronulla Sutherland, winning 24 points to 16. Clint Gutherson's in awesome form. He had another blinder tonight, and here he is with you, Hoffy.
Yeah, he did have a great game, Clint Gutherson, mate. You had a bit of an air raid there, especially in the second half, but great to get those balls and get the boys off to a good start.
Yeah, we knew it was coming. They're a great attacking team under the high ball, and look, sometimes you just got to catch them, and we did. We didn't give them a chance there, and that's what it comes down to, these tight games. And mate, that was coming. We were so overdue for a win, and can't wait to get in there and just have a smile on our face. And it's been building. We've been enjoying our footy, and we just haven't been able to win the last couple of months. And yeah, it's good to knock off a local derby as well.
Yeah, you guys played real positive football. You played positive football for 80 minutes, really chancing your arm and spreading the ball wide in these conditions. Is that how you set out at the start of the game to play?
Yeah, honestly, Hoffy, we've been playing like that for a long time, probably the last 2-3 months, and it just hasn't clicked as well as it should sometimes. And we've been in games, and they just pip us at the post. And tonight we just played. We knew it was going to come down to the wire, and 3 minutes to go we scored it and probably secured it. So, mate, I'm stoked. It's just got a really young squad. Dino's put a lot of belief in us, and mate, just super pleased for the whole club.
Pretty good player to have coming off the bench, Setu too, to ice the game. Pretty good for a rookie.
Yeah, I think it's the new bench has come in handy with those situations where you can just have a winger on the bench and he's ready. You got to stay ready. You never know. We lost Matt in the first half, so really pleasing.
Thoroughly deserved win, Gutho. Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
It sure was. Clint Gutherson down there with Ryan Hoffman, St George Illawarra 24. Defeating Cronulla Sutherland 16 here on NRL Sunday. And don't forget, the footy continues. We're about 10 or 11 minutes away from heading to Central Coast Stadium in Gosford for the NRLW clash between unbeaten Sydney Roosters, winless Parramatta. Remember, Brisbane were beaten today for the first time, and Canberra Raiders really handed them a massive defeat at Canberra Stadium. So anything can happen. As we've seen here at Jubilee, Hoffy, you're with the Sharks fullback William Kennedy now.
Yeah, down here with Will Kennedy. You guys have been in pretty good form tonight, just watching your night.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. I thought they'd just come out more physical than us, and I think you can't do that in the NRL. So yeah, that's just what happened. Yeah.
You're still in the game right into the end. What was the message from Crayford's given at half time? You guys probably weren't playing the way you wanted to. What was the message coming out after half time?
Probably just doing the hardest things and doing them more than they did. But yeah, we definitely didn't do that. But I think we just really got to work on that and just mentally come into the next game as well. So yeah.
Tough night. A few things didn't go your way. A couple of injuries. You guys will back yourself in the back end of the season to be able to right the wrongs and get it right next week.
Yeah. We're just like what I said. We've got a lot to work on. It didn't go well for us tonight, and I think we've got to work on that in training and just look forward to next game. I think.
No worries, Will. Thanks for your time, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, William Kennedy down there with Ryan Hoffman, and Hoffy will now join us back in the box for the post-game show. Now, just before we get Louis' ABC Player of the
the Year points, the NRL table, with only 4 rounds to go. Boy, where has the season gone? And I can only hope that this has been updated. Penrith on top, 36 points. Sydney Roosters second on 36 points. Penrith miles ahead in terms of for and against. The Warriors are third on 34. Cronulla Sutherland fourth on 32. The Dolphins fifth on 32. The Sharks for and against is a lot better than the Dolphins. Newcastle sixth on 30. South Sydney seventh on 28. North Queensland 8th on 28. Then Canterbury Bankstown on 26. Manly Warringah on 24. Melbourne on 22. Canberra 22. Parramatta 20. West 20. Gold Coast 18. Remembering Tigers had the bye. Gold Coast 18. Brisbane 18. And St George Illawarra up to 12 with 4 games to play. And in terms of next week, round 24 kicks off Thursday night. We'll be on air from 7 p.m. at Western Sydney Stadium, and it's the top of the table clash. Penrith reeling after being well beaten by the Warriors against the Sydney Roosters, who keep on winning. We'll be on air from 7 p.m. on Thursday night on ABC Local Radio. Then Friday night, coverage from 5:30 at Brookvale Oval. Manly Warringah against the Dolphins. It is the last chance saloon, surely, for the Sea Eagles. And then at 8 o'clock at Stadium Australia, what an important game that is. Canterbury Bankstown just outside the 8 against South Sydney just inside the 8. On Saturday, we'll be on air from 2 p.m. at Weird Shark Park on Saturday. Oh, excellent. 3 o'clock kickoff for Cronulla Sutherland against Canberra at 5:30 at Western Sydney Stadium. Parramatta plays the 8th place Cowboys, and 7:30 Saturday night Brisbane at Lang Park against the Warriors. Then on Sunday, we're on air from midday. The 2 o'clock game, Newcastle against Gold Coast at Hunter Stadium, and at 4:05 West Tigers playing St George Illawarra at Western Sydney Stadium. The bye next week for the Melbourne Storm. All right, Luke Lewis, what about your ABC Player of the Year points here after the Dragons 24 upset the Sharks 16?
I had to go Clint Gutherson. I thought he was brilliant for the Dragons all night. He's diffused those bombs. He was everywhere. He's kept some really good carries up through the middle of the field. Some really good skill out wide. So Gutho for 3. Jacob Little for 2. Brilliant again through the middle of the field. His dummy half run and played 80 minutes. His defence was brilliant. And I'm going to go Kyle Flanagan for 1. I thought Kyle kicked really well. You know, he took I thought his defence out wide was brilliant, and he come up with the right plays when needed to come up with it. So he gets my 1. I thought it was a really good performance from the Dragons. There was a lot of players out there could have received points, but I thought those 3 guys really stood up.
So 3 points Clint Gutherson, 2 points Jacob Little, 1 point Kyle Flanagan. Anyone from the Sharks that impressed you?
No.
Okay. Around the grounds, full-time in the New South Wales Cup, and it ends up being a win for Newcastle over Canberra. They've had a good day at Canberra Stadium. Newcastle 20, Canberra 16. I'll run through all the scores for you as we go along here. Collingwood in the AFL leading West Coast in the third quarter, 93 to 66. And three-quarter time in the AFLW, Carlton 50, St Kilda 27. Your texts are welcome now, 0467 920 222, 0467 920 222. Too complacent by the Sharks. Also, I reckon Broncos goals missing Ali Brigginshaw from Louis Cogra. Yeah, not a bad point, Louis. Ali Brigginshaw serving a 3-game suspension. And boys, if the Dragons win the next 4 games and the Broncos lose their next 4 games, Broncos get the spoon, says Paul from Wagga. I guess that's right, Paul. That's an optimistic point of view from the Dragons. I don't know how likely the Broncos winning 4 in a row is at this point, but we'll see. Best part about the Dragons win is that I think it might now be mathematically possible for my Tigers to regain their coveted wooden spoon, says Ian from Canberra.
Wouldn't that be funny?
I don't know that it would be funny.
No, but not fun. But just the way that they started the year, how much talk there was, and then all of a sudden, if they were to go on a bit of a run, the Dragons, they'll get a lot of confidence out of tonight's game.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Well, do the Tigers get a lot of confidence out of the bye?
Definitely not.
Pete from Canberra says, Louis, the Sharks thought they were going to win by 1,000 as well.
Correct.
St George Illawarra v Cronulla, also a local Wollongong derby. Dapto High, where Dean Young went to school, versus Canahuka High, where Craig Fitzgibbon went.
Andrew, I think that's karma for what Luke and Ryan earlier picking on the Cowboys, says Jodes from Mackay Weds. Get well, Gibbsy. Thank you, Jodes. Did you boys pick on the Cowboys?
We don't pick on the Cowboys.
Okay.
What did I say about the Cowboys?
I don't know, but I believe Jodes.
I've got a funny feeling she might be not the Cowboys, maybe something about the Dragons, because we both said no.
No, actually, I remember saying something about the Dragons, saying that they didn't play well.
Yeah, no, Jodie's a Cowboy through and through. She'll know. She'll know if you.
So she would have remembered it because she would have bookmarked it or written it down or something. So apologies, Jodie.
Mick
I don't apologise, Jodie. I don't remember it.
Mick in fairness, there's not much he does remember, so don't take that personally, Jade.
No, Jade.
Nico's missed totally rattled not only him but the whole side. Playing St George, they didn't expect the intensity, reckons Mitch. 0467 920 222. Swanky from Helensburgh says, I can't believe we've let Sloan go. It's clear the Sharks are still downhill skiers and looking down the barrel of another straight sets exit if they finish top 4, says Jeff in Sunshine. It is a bit of a myth. I keep hearing this, that the Sharks keep going out in straight sets. They didn't last year.
No.
They beat Canberra in Canberra. They reached a preliminary final.
Correct.
So that monkey might have been belted off their back. Brian Hoffman's back with Luke Lewis. I'm Andrew Moore. Plenty to wrap up here at Jubilee Stadium. And in a few minutes, most of you will be joining the team out at Central Coast Stadium in Gosford of Declan Byrne, Jada Taylor, the Cronulla Sutherland star fullback in the NRLW, and Dean Hallertau for the NRLW game between the Sydney Roosters and the Parramatta Eels. And some of you will be staying with us right through until 6:30 tonight. And those who are will be getting a wrap from Glenn Lauder and Alan Tung from Canberra Stadium. Our wow moment of the weekend. And Hoffy, I'm sure you've done this before with us down in Melbourne, but I'll be asking you for one moment from the weekend that wowed you. Not a whole scenario, just one moment. One moment.
Specific moment. All right.
Yes, so look forward to that.
In rugby league?
Yes.
Okay.
What did you think we were covering?
I
know you were heavily involved with the Melbourne Demons. What else are you involved with?
No.
Your wife's a singer.
My wife's
singing star.
Yeah, she does a bit of. I coach a bit of under-11 girls basketball.
Oh yeah, you do. It's the talk of the basketball world.
That it is.
How'd your cricket season go in the off-season?
It sort of it petered out. I got a bit unreliable. So
you did?
Yeah, I got a bit unreliable working with the Storm SG ball team.
So what does next summer hold? Because the test summer starts basically next Thursday.
I've qualified for vets, for veterans.
What's that, over 45s?
Over 40. I'm 42, thank you very much, so it's over 40.
You'll be 43 this year, wouldn't you?
Next year.
Oh.
Yeah.
We might need an audit on that. How old are you now, Louis?
43 on Tuesday.
On Tuesday?
Yep.
Upcoming. Well, many happy returns. If I forget to be in touch with you on Tuesday, which I'm about 80 million %
So happy.
I've got my wow. I've got my wow.
Okay, I'm not asking you yet.
No, I just had to think.
It's supposed to be right off the cuff. I was just giving you.
He just Googled it.
You can't. What is Ryan Hoffman's wow?
I can't wait to find out. Don from Cairns, go the Dragons. Looking forward to next year. Hi, Team Kraken Call. Louis completely evil around the Tigers' spoon hopes. Can Ryan or Louis comment on mentality leading into an easy win that doesn't go well? From Hamo from Bondi. Can you do it in 30 seconds?
Oh, that happens all the time. You sit there and you go, we've got this game, we're playing such good footy. Well, if we get out there and it will just happen, and you get out there and it doesn't happen. That probably happened to us a few times. Happened to me a lot of times in my career. So it's just one of those ones where you expect it to win.
And Scruffy in Benarkin says, only 4 weeks to go. I must get busy and record your intro so I can mess with my wife's mind during the off-season. You would do that. Well, we've still got 4 weeks after that of finals, and then I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we'll be covering the Rugby League World Cup from October 15 when Australian men's team plays New Zealand. That goes for a month until the 15th of November. All right, thank you, Louis. Thank you, Hoppy. Thank you to the team here. For most of you, let's head to Central Coast Stadium, NRLW Round 6 action. Roosters and Parramatta in beautiful Gosford. Declan Byrne heading the coverage. Good evening to you, Dec.
Good evening, Maury. Thank you. Yes, they say opposites attract, and tonight 2 teams with opposite records will be running at each other. The undefeated Roosters hosting the winless Eels. The Roosters have been challenged this year. They've been made to work for a few of their wins, but they still got them. The Eels, they've pushed teams as well, but the scoreboard doesn't lie, and the win columns for both these teams are in complete contrast. And after the Raiders beat the Broncos earlier today, the Roosters have the chance to be the only team with a perfect record through 6 rounds. But you never know. That's why we love sport. Who knows what is going to happen tonight? The final game of round 6 in the NRLW, live from Central Coast Stadium here on Darkinjung Country. It is the Sydney Roosters against the Parramatta Eels, right here on ABC Sport. It's good to have your company. My name's Declan Byrne, whether you're listening on local radio throughout New South Wales, Queensland, ACT, Sport Digital or ABC Listen. It's also Indigenous round, both this and next weekend in the NRLW and the NRL. And the theme across the 2 weeks is Our Game, Our Story, which celebrates the best First Nations players in the game. And we're lucky to have one alongside me tonight for the call, a proud Gamilaroi woman, the fullback for the Cronulla Sharks in the NRLW, Jada Taylor. Good to have you.
It's good to be here, and wow, what an intro. I love these when I get an intro like that. But yeah, it looks really nice out there tonight. A little bit of rain, which is going to shake this comp up a little bit, and I'm hoping the Eels come up with an upset.
Yeah, why? Why do you want to see an upset?
Oh, I just think, huge fan of the Eels. I think over the course of them being in the competition, they've gotten a lot better under Steve Georgalis, and this year's probably not been reflective of that, but they've got a solid team there, and this track might slow the Roosters down a little bit, so it'll be an interesting night, and as we've seen today, anyone can shake up anyone in this competition.
The teams both coming out now hand in hand next to each other with the juniors, and both in their amazing Indigenous jerseys. The Roosters in a design by Tyler Mundine called For Our Next Generation. They're hand in hand with the next generation beside them. And the Eels in a dark strip tonight, Sean Kinchella and Colin Walker celebrating the power of water, synonymous with the Eels. Let's head to the third member of our team. He is down there in the rain. Dean Hallertau, how are you doing?
Yeah, hey Dec, hey Jada. It's not too bad down here actually. The rain is coming down, but I haven't got the brolly up just yet. It's not that heavy, but obviously it is going to be a wet one underfoot, and I guess ball control is going to be paramount for both teams, and it's going to be something they're going to focus on probably for the whole match. I'm a little bit the same with Jada. I want to see the Eels get up, and it's always good to see the top teams get taken down, especially by a team that's not doing so well on the ladder. It'd be good to see them get their first win.
As I said, it is Indigenous round. Jada, how special is it for these kids who are lined up in front of some of their heroes at the moment?
Super special. I think these are memories you won't forget as a young one, and I know I've been behind the scenes at the moment with Tamana Tahu at the NRL organising this for our men to have this next week with some Deadly Choices Junior Rugby League teams playing as well.
Let's have a listen to the ceremony taking place now on the field.
Of the land and waterways on which we meet tonight. I'd like to acknowledge the sacrifices that have been made by our elders. For those that are unaware, the Darkinjung boundaries stretch from the Hawkesbury River in the south to Lake Macquarie in the north, the Pacific Ocean in the east, and Mount Yango in the west, which is the start of all our creation stories. Wherever you've travelled to be with us tonight, we ask you to walk softly, tread with respect, and allow our old people to guide you. For the two teams about to go into battle tonight, play hard, play fair, and run the ball up. Yanu.
We are here on Darkinjung land. I lived here in this area for 4 years. A beautiful part of the world. So much, natural beauty around us. It is raining tonight. It's about 15 degrees. I'll run you through the teams. So they are as named throughout the week. No late changes. Going to the Roosters first at fullback, Corbin Baxter. On the wings, Bridie Parker and Jamie Fressard. In the centres, Jess Surgis and Isabel Kelly. In the halves, Jocelyn Kelleher and Taryn Aiken back after a couple of weeks out.